Hello and welcome to my channel. Welcome to another tarot reading from me. So today's topic is going to be on who can't stop thinking about you. This is a topic that has been recommended by a viewer, so I really appreciate it. Also, I will take this moment to remind everyone that, of course, if you have other topics that you would like me to cover, please mention them in the comment section and I will take them into account. I don't remember if I have done a reading on this exact topic before, so I thought, yeah, this feels right. I want to do it. Yeah, I mean, I'm sure that I have done like related topics, like how do they see you and stuff like that. But yeah, this one, it just felt like the time is right, so I hope that you will all enjoy it. So once again, this is for those of you who want to choose with crystals, and I want to mention that as usual, I have chosen these crystals intuitively without overthinking it. As usual, I have looked over my crystal collection, and I have asked Spirit which crystals should I choose for this particular topic, and these are the crystals that stood out to me in this particular order. So for those of you who want to choose with just crystals, these are your options. Pile number 1, you have this amethyst cluster crystal. Pile number 2, you have this green aventurine crystal. Pile number 3, you have this rose quartz crystal. Pile number 4, you have this milky quartz crystal. Okay, so these are your options. My recommendation, as usual, is that you take some moments to meditate upon the question. Take some deep breaths. Exhale longer than you inhale. That will help center you and calm you down. Keep your eyes closed. You can also say a little prayer, ask guidance from your God, your deity, the universe, whoever you rely on for spiritual guidance. And then open your eyes and choose the first pile intuitively without overthinking it. And of course, if you feel drawn to more than one, feel free to watch several or even all of them and just take whichever messages resonate. So before I sign off, I will remind you, of course, to please subscribe to my channel if you haven't done so already. It's the easiest way to support me and it is free. And of course, consider clicking on the notifications bell if you want to be notified every time I post a new tarot reading. Thank you, and I hope that you will enjoy your reading. Okay, so this is for those of you who want to choose with a card as well as a crystal. This is going to be selection of the card for each pile. Spirit, tell me about pile number 1, the people who chose the amethyst cluster crystal. Who cannot stop thinking about them, Spirit? Who can't stop thinking about pile number 1? All right. Spirit, who cannot stop thinking about pile number 2, the people who chose the green aventurine crystal? Spirit, who cannot stop thinking about... Okay. Spirit, who cannot stop thinking about pile number 4, the people who chose the milky quartz crystal? All right. Let's see. Pile number 1, we have the 8 of Pentacles. I think this is better. Or not. Pile number 2, you have 5 of Swords. Pile number 3, you have the Moon. Pile number 4, you have the 3 of Wands. All right, let me arrange them. Okay, so these are your options for those of you who want to choose with a card as well as a crystal. Pile number 1, you have this card over here and or this amethyst cluster crystal. Pile number 2, you have this card over here and or this aventurine crystal. Pile, hold on, let me arrange it nicely. Pile number 3, you have this card over here and or the rose quartz crystal. Can I just say, so fitting that the rose quartz came out for the moon. Pile number 4, you have this card over here and or this milky quartz crystal. All right, so these are your options. Let me try to arrange them a little bit nicer. All right, that's nice enough, I think. So yeah, these are your options for those of you who want to choose with a card as well as a crystal. As usual, my recommendation is that you take some deep breaths, exhale longer than you inhale. So take some moments to relax. In other words, meditate upon the question with your eyes closed. You can also address this question or more specific questions to your higher guide, you know, God, your deity, your angels, your higher self, the universe, whoever you rely on for spiritual guidance. And yeah, you can ask more specific questions, but things that would be, you know, answerable through this question that I'm going to ask. But yes, you can, after you take some moments to meditate, you can open your eyes and choose the first pile that stands out to you intuitively without overthinking it. And of course, if you feel drawn to more than one, feel free to watch several or even all of them and just take whichever messages resonate. And before I sign off, I will remind you once again to please subscribe to my channel if you haven't done so already. If you have found value in any of my readings, it's the easiest way to support me and it is free. And also consider clicking on the notifications bell if you want to be notified of whenever I post a new tarot reading. And on top of that, of course, if you have other topics that you would like me to cover at some point, please mention them in the comment section. I do take them into account. This topic was also recently recommended by a viewer, and I felt inspired to do it. So thank you to the viewer. Okay, so these are your options. Take as long as you need to decide, and I will see you at your reading. So welcome pile number 1. This is your reading if you have chosen this card over here, the 8 of Pentacles, and or this amethyst cluster crystal. So I'm going to start with some oracle cards and then I'm going to, well, actually, wait, I'm going to start with the tarot card, sorry. Yeah. So Spirit, tell me about pile number 1, the people who chose the amethyst crystal. Who cannot stop thinking about them? Let's see. We have Temperance, the Sun, nice. 3 of Wands, the Star, come on, the Fool, 4 of Cups. Let me see. Some more cards. Spirit, tell me about pile number 1. Hold on, let me fix the camera. These cards are a little bit bigger than usual, so yeah, it's going to be a narrow view. Spirit, tell me about pile number 1. The people who chose the amethyst crystal. Who cannot stop thinking about pile number 1? Did I say pile number 2? I don't remember. If I did, maybe you should listen to pile number 2 as well. Okay, we have 6 in there, right? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. That's fine. Okay, we have the World. We have Page of Cups. We have the Magician. We have the Knight of Cups. We have the High Priest. Oh my gosh. The Ace of Cups. This person probably has some pretty strong feelings about you. Okay. Let me get some oracle cards. Spirit, tell me about pile number 1. The people who chose the amethyst. Who cannot stop thinking about my pile number 1? Spirit, who cannot stop thinking about pile number 1, the amethyst? This deck is so hard to shuffle. Okay, one just fell out. That made it easy for me. Thank you, Spirit. Just when I was about to complain. The empty room. Okay, and we have number 42. All right, number 42 with the empty room. And let's see, we have the Sacred Ibis, learning, number 22. Learning. Wow, this looks like pretty bright, just like the sun over here. And we have surrender with all these butterflies. All right, so let's unpack everything we have here. Pile number 1. So first we have the 8 of Pentacles. We have the Temperance, the World. So at the time when you come across this reading, okay, this is a person with the Temperance and the World underneath. This can be a person that, the first thing that comes to mind is someone that maybe you have recently ended a connection with. So recently or not so recently, someone that you have ended a connection with, all right? At this moment, it could be for some of you that you are no contact with this person or someone you haven't talked to in a long time. If that is not the case, another possibility is that this is a person who is at a significant distance from you. Someone who is not in the same city, maybe not even in the same country as you, or at least not in the same county. There could be some physical distance, right? So either it's a physical distance or it's someone you haven't spoken to in a long time, or it could be both. Another thing with this person right now is they are in a time of their lives where they are the thing that really is sitting on the tip of my tongue is there's someone who's licking their wounds. That would be one way of saying it. But another way to look at it is this is someone who's trying to regain balance. This is what I'm seeing. We have the number 4 coming out repeatedly in this reading already, right? We have the 4 of Cups. We have the 22, which boils down to a number 4. We have the 14 on the Temperance. We also have the number 42 here. The number 4 is standing out a lot. And then on top of that, the number 14, this could be someone who, wow, I'm seeing a lot in this reading, but I'm afraid that I might be off, honestly, but I'm getting very strong messages, so I'm just going to go with it. What I'm thinking here, what's really coming through is this is a person who is regretting the fact that they have prioritized their freedom. Now, this could be, I think, in the context of your relationship or how they feel about you. This is a person, so either they regret it. The reason I say regret is because number 14 in numerology is a karmic number. And it actually has to deal with, so people who have it prominently in their numerological profile in this lifetime, it said that they have to have some kind of a karma to pay off with respect to freedom because they have abused their freedoms in past lives. So this is why I'm guessing that this person is regretting having prioritized their freedom over your connection. Or if this is like a karmic thing, you know, like someone that... I don't know, it could be someone that you were meant to meet, or it could be, you know, someone who has just randomly met you and, you know, you have made an impact on them, but because of their karma, they're not able to pursue this connection at this time because they have restrictions. They have restrictions on their freedom. So this is like the first things that come out. I'm very curious to hear feedback on this reading because these are really strong, like specific messages that came through. And then we have the Sun and the Page of Cups. So what is supporting this person, what is stimulating them and supporting them is their desire for individuality, for personal expression, for authenticity. This is a person who is very self-motivated. This is a person who has big dreams and big goals in life. This is also a lot of masculine energy. The sun is driving them, so they could have a powerful sun energy. They could have placements in Leo. They could have a strong sun energy in general, like the sun is prominent in their horoscope. Maybe a lot of conjunctions involving the sun. It could be the sun is in, you know, prominent placements in the houses. The first house, the 10th house, those are the strongest placements of the sun. Or the 5th house, the 9th house to some extent as well. Of course, it could also be someone who has placements in the nakshatras that are ruled by the sun, which are Kritika, Uttara, Falguni, and Uttara Ashadha. And this is in either situation, this is someone who's brimming with creative ideas, creativity. There's someone who has a strong sense of ego, a strong sense of pride in who they are, a strong sense of self. They're probably someone who's quite confident as well, but there's also like a dreamer, romantic, slightly vulnerable aura about them. They can also have a kind of childlike purity about them, like their soul can be really pure because of this Page of Cups. You know, they could even borderline come across as a little bit childish sometimes. And this is also just someone chasing the sun. This is what I'm getting, like someone who's chasing big goals, big dreams, you know. So overall, the main vibe that I'm getting so far is that this is a person who may like you, but they're choosing to prioritize their goals for now. This is the main vibe that I'm getting. Now, there could be various, of course, subtle differences, like I have explained, because this is a general reading, so different people will get different messages. So aside from this, we have the Three of Wands and the Magician in opposition here. This is really powerful. Oh my God, like things are really coming into place here with the storyline. Okay, I need to clarify. So I pulled out my Rider-Waite pocketbook version because I want to clarify this Magician. Spirit, please clarify the Magician for me. I want to know more details, please. We have Strength. Yeah, does not surprise me. Does not surprise me at all. Please clarify the Three of Wands. Have the Nine of Pentacles. Oh, yes. This person is chasing money. Okay, they're chasing success. And the Magician shows that this is, first of all, the Magician and the Sun, both of them have a numerology number 1, right? 19 boils down to 1 plus 9, which is 10, which is the number 1. And here we have the Magician with number 1. So both of these, the Magician is like an extension of the Sun energy. And it shows a person who is like very in control of their destiny, someone with a very strong manifestation power, if you want to look at it that way. There's definitely a lot of masculine energy in this person's makeup. So irrespective of, at least so far, I might be getting other messages as I go along, but so far this is someone who has a lot of fire in their makeup. So if in their horoscope they have could have a prominent Sun, could have a prominent Mars, prominent Jupiter, right? So these are the 3 most masculine and fire-dominated planets. And also they could have placements in the signs that are ruled by these planets and the nakshatras that are ruled by these planets, right? I'm not going to go through all of those because it's a long list. But what I'm seeing, and also interestingly here, of course, the Strength that came out to clarify the Magician is also depicted with a lion. There's a woman taming a lion here, right? Which again actually shows the number 8. Check this out. Check out the symmetry over here. The messages are coming through strongly. 8 of Pentacles, number 8. Number 8 is, first of all, the 8 of Pentacles. This is someone who's very focused on career. So right off the bat, this was the vibe that I got, but I, for some reason, didn't say it out loud. But then we have the number 8 repeated here, clarifying the Magician. So this person is clearly very focused on their career, right? 9 of Pentacles, clarifying the 3 of Wands. I think this is someone who, in recent history, has started to feel like things are finally looking up for them, financially and career-wise. Like this feels like someone who has a lot of power, a lot of ambition. There are a lot of drive, and like they have worked towards something for a long time, and things are finally looking up, and they feel they have caught momentum. So they have to really invest a lot of energy into their career. The 3 of Wands in particular, clarified by the 9 of Pentacles, this is telling me, I mean, clearly this whole column over here, which is what's standing in the way of this person showing their feelings towards you, right? Or telling you what they think about you. This is the fact that they're very much focused on their professional success. The Three of Wands, clarified by Nine of Pentacles in particular, speaks of someone who's like on the verge of a breakthrough, right? Nine of Pentacles, by the way, can also be very much significant of a person who is self-employed, or at least very self-sufficient financially. So this could show that this person is someone in a position like a managerial position, or they could be someone who is just about to, you know, become finally independent. Like they're finally, let's say they were someone who quit their job and has been working on a side hustle, and therefore they're, you know, they're just about to finally make enough money to support themselves, right? This is the kind of vibe that I'm getting here. Sorry. Choked a little bit on my own saliva. It happens. So anyway, we have the star here with number 8, again, clarified by the Knight of Cups. So, and this is the past position. The star with the Knight of... I'm going to get another clarification because I need some stuff. Please clarify the star, Spirit. Six of Swords. Please clarify the Six of Swords. Hierophant again. Hierophant is here as well. Oh my gosh. Wow, this is really going hand in hand with what I said. I feel like this is someone who is going through some significant career change. But another way to look at this, and it could be all of these ways, like kind of overlapping at the same time, is that this is a person who is moving away from the beaten path, because the Hierophant speaks of the restrictions of tradition. So it speaks of like social pressures. It speaks of, you know, like the pressures from the family, from community, from tradition, you know, all the things that make up tradition. And this person was driven by tradition, right? And then the Six of Swords shows that they're finally moving away from tradition. And this is the past, like this is up until recent past, right? So they have slowly moved away from tradition and like carved a path for themselves with the star. So I'm definitely getting strong vibes that this could be someone who is self-employed, or just someone who's very independent and pretty in control of their destiny. The Knight of Cups, again, also speaks of this person's like inner romance as well. It's like they were guided by this move to leave tradition by their intuition. I'm creating a lot of rhymes here, but please bear with me. So they were, because the Knight of Cups speaks of following your intuition, following your heart in a way, but following your intuition, bringing a solution. So this person has slowly, by following their heart and their intuition, moved away from their pressures, their social pressures, their maybe family expectations. So I'm really getting this strong. And again, we have the number 8 here with the star. And up until recent history, up until this moment, this person has reached a certain level of respect, a certain level of success, if you will, because of the star energy. And so because of this, this person is, like I said, I'm seeing this, like this person is like moving away from tradition. The star is also a sign that is associated to Aquarius, by the way, which is the sign that is most connected to the rebel, to the individualist, you know, the person who kind of goes against the crowd. So yeah, I'm getting a lot of independence with this person, but overall, so far, I'm getting that this person is very self-absorbed, I have to say, in a more negative sense, if you want to look at it. So it's not necessarily that they're self-absorbed, but they could be someone with a very strong sense of mission in life, you know, someone who wants big things out of life. And then we have the Fool and the Hierophant again. So it's interesting because we have the Hierophant again, and this is like action, okay? Let me clarify the... Please clarify this, Hierophant, Spirit. 10 of Wands. Please clarify the Fool. Oh my God. Ten of Cups. Holy shit. Wow. Holy shit. Let me explain. I'm in shock here because these are pretty strong messages, honestly. So let me explain. This person, I think, is someone who is going to take actions towards you. But see, it's interesting because we have Hierophant in two different contexts here. So this context here speaks about career path. But when it comes to this is like the actions that they are likely to take towards you, right? So we have Hierophant, again, clarified by the 10 of Wands. And then we have the Fool clarified by the 10 of Cups. A lot of 10s. So this person also probably has a strong Saturn energy as well. I wouldn't be surprised. They have like an interesting, like a dichotomy of like conflicting energies. Maybe they have placements in Aquarius and Saturn, sorry, and Capricorn, and also placements in Leo, or they have a lot of Sun-Saturn combination. So they have like two distinct, this can also explain, holy shit, the Temperance here. Like, because the Temperance is the blending of two normally very opposite energies. So this person could be someone who's like in an inner battle constantly between doing what tradition expects from them versus following their heart's desire. But with respect to how they feel about you, let me get back on course. This person most likely will take action towards you because the Fool, clarified by the 10 of Cups, this person has romantic feelings about you. There's no doubt about this. Whoever this person is, like, I'm very curious. Please mention it in the comment section. This person is someone who sees you as someone they can build a family with, that they can build a legacy with. And I think they also might see you as someone that they could blend in with their traditions as well. Like whatever their family background is, whatever their pressures are, it's like you fall hand in hand with that. You know, it's like you're a match for maybe what their family expects from them. I think that's what they're thinking. But irrespective of what their family thinks, they have the feels for you, because look at this, man. The Fool, clarified by the 10 of Cups, this is like someone who's in love. Makes me think of that song that was like popular probably in the 60s of Why Do Fools Fall in Love? Just Google it. It's fun. It's like, I think it's rock and roll. Anyway, and this person, though, with the 10 of Wands clarifying the Hierophant, I think this person feels like they still have a lot of stuff to do. They have a lot of work to do. So they have a lot of responsibilities, but once they get over those responsibilities, once they get on top of them, I think they're going to make a move towards you romantically. And look at this. I mean, 4 of Cups clarified by the Ace of Cups. This is, again, more romantic energy here. I want to clarify the 4 of Cups. Hold on. Loads of clarifications, I know. Please clarify the 4 of Cups, Spirit. Not with so many cards, though. Please clarify the 4 of Cups. 7 of Swords. Okay. Please clarify the 7 of Swords. 9 of Wands again. Okay, so I feel like this person, they're being strategic. Like, I mean, the ultimate outcome of this, though, is that, I mean, I cannot say what the ultimate outcome, but because, of course, a lot depends on individual willpower. But what I'm seeing here is that this person is thinking about the best way. They're being strategic about how to get to you romantically. Part of what's holding them back is a defensiveness, and also a tendency to kind of have analysis paralysis. But ultimately, they're definitely going to make a move towards you. This is what I'm seeing here. I also want to clarify the Ace of Cups. Please clarify the Ace of Cups, Spirit. Okay. We have the 8 of Swords. Yeah, so this person is definitely feeling restricted. I think this is someone who wants to make moves towards you, but for now at least, this person is feeling restricted. But it's only a matter of time before they will try to make a move towards you. I wouldn't be able to tell you how long, but yeah, this is someone who has strong feelings for you and sees you as a good romantic potential partner. The empty room is kind of like, this also makes me think of outer space, makes me think of Aquarius energy as well. The number 42 on it is ruled by Venus because it's boiling down to a 6. So anyway, and the sacred ibis here with learning. Also the Hierophant, by the way, because the Hierophant is coming through strongly in the sun, this could be someone who is a teacher, someone who is in a position where they are guiding others that are less enlightened, whether it's a teacher in the most traditional sense or someone who's teaching, counseling, spreading knowledge, basically. I am seeing a lot of fire, and also the sun is reason as well. So yeah, it's definitely potentially connected to teaching. Yeah, okay. Let me see what the astrological cards have to say, because this is pretty much what I can get from the tarot cards. Spirit, tell me about pile number 1. Who cannot stop thinking about them? We have 8th house, transformation and mystery. The moon, feelings and subconscious. Mercury, mind and speech. 9th house, learning and faith. Jupiter, ideals and magnitude. Okay, so we have some confirmations here. Jupiter and the 9th house, and yeah, that's pretty much 9th house and Jupiter. That's fire. That's more of the fire energy and the teaching energy that I was talking about. Mercury and the moon, this person is someone who's very good at communication, someone who communicates very clearly. Maybe they communicate a lot for their work. With the moon, there could be also a lot of travel involved, which makes sense with the world also and the 3 of wands. So for some people, this is definitely someone who's at a distance, but they can also be someone who is, a bit of a globetrotter, I would say. Someone who has traveled quite a bit. Someone who has like a wide perspective on things. Jupiter means that, since I know most of my viewers are women, but of course take it how it resonates. This can also apply to women, if you're a man and you're watching this for women, but especially if you are a woman and you're watching this for, thinking about a man, maybe hoping that it's a certain man you're thinking about. This is definitely someone who's very, very traditional minded. And someone who wants a family. So Jupiter is someone who's very focused on leaving a legacy, wants a family in the traditional sense, wants to have children and all that. So yeah. And also the 8th house is showing that there can be a lot of ups and downs. This person could also have a Scorpio energy. But the 8th house is particularly connected to foreign languages. It's connected to managing other people's finances. It's connected to foreign lands, especially foreign lands where there's a foreign language being spoken. It's also connected to psychology, anything revolving research or crisis situations, professions where you could be called at any hour of the day or night, police, ambulances, stuff like that. So people who deal with crisis situations, that could be the 8th house. And like I said, psychology, research, psychiatry, anything that has to do with like digging under the surface of things, that's the 8th house. And foreign languages, yeah. So if the person on your mind ticks any of these boxes, yeah, these are very strong confirmations. And the 9th house, very importantly, again, really confirms the theme of there being a connection to foreign cultures, foreign travels. Also, the Temperance, which came out here in the first position, in the first column, can further support the idea that this person might be from a multi-ethnic background or multicultural background, maybe even biracial or multiracial. But there's like a theme here of this person maybe coming from a foreign culture, foreign land. With the ninth house, they can also be involved in teaching. Like I said, there's a strong connection to teaching, especially higher education. I would definitely think for most of you in this pile, this is someone who's college educated. If they're not college educated, there's someone who is very focused on expanding their own horizons and constantly cultivating themselves. And or they could have a profession where they are directly dealing with travel, maybe working in a travel agency. Another thing is they could be also into religion. See, this is really interesting because the Hierophant came out twice. So the Hierophant is about traditions in many ways, but it's also about teachings, and it is kind of like a religious sort of vibe. Especially since in this deck it's called the High Priest, right? So this person could also be someone who is into religion, maybe is religious. They could be into studying different religions and philosophies, maybe from different cultures. And they could be in academia. They could be in publishing, writing. Let me think, what else? Anything that has to deal with consulting, you know, being a consultant, a teacher, a professor in university, a coach, a life coach, you know, someone who helps people to better themselves, that could be a thing. But I think this person has a strong sense of faith either way. And with respect to personality, because the moon, the Jupiter, Mercury, so these are all benefic energy. So this person is someone who is very elevated. The High Priest also came out twice. Hello. So, and also it's so fitting that Mercury came out because the High Priest, well, there's a lot of number 5s as well. I did say number 4, but number 5s are coming through as well. And number 5 in numerology is ruled by Mercury. And yeah, so I think this person is very, very intellectual, very smart, you know, very bright. Like I said, most likely highly educated. They're also potentially youthful, right? Because Mercury is a very youthful energy. So they could be someone who maybe looks younger than their age or maybe behaves younger than their age. Like I also picked up here with this childlike sort of innocence here. They could have something about them that's really innocent and kind of pure, you know, uncomplicated. And they might be very good at foreign languages. I think I picked this up. I've said this repeatedly. And aside from that, physically, what could stand out about this person is they could be above average in height. Or physically, somehow they're pretty imposing. That could be a thing because of that Jupiter energy. They could have a nice smile. Their hands could really stand out. Their legs could really stand out, especially their calves. And their thighs, but their hands could really stand out, their arms, their shoulders could really stand out, and the face, you know, their face could really stand out. And irrespective of gender, they could have something quite soft and feminine about their features. And I think based on these energies, mostly they tend towards a lighter complexion, but of course that's within the limits of their ethnic background. So yeah. Okay, this is pretty much what I'm seeing. Let me get some more astrological notes this time. Spirit, tell me about pile number 1 who cannot stop thinking about them. Okay. That's a lot of cards. Let's see. What do we have here? We have, oh my gosh, Mercury. Okay, definitely a lot of Mercury coming through. And we have Libra as well. This person could have placements in Libra. That's the Venus maybe that was coming through. We have Capricorn. That's a confirmation of what I came across. So with the Saturn energy, this person, again, being torn between traditions and modernity, I think this is a theme with this person. Oh my gosh, we have the Moon again. I cannot. Such strong confirmations. We have, oh my god, are you effing kidding me? Like, I have Jupiter again. So literally the same planets came out twice. Okay. And I have Scorpio. Wow. Holy Mother of Christ. So many strong confirmations. Scorpio, which is connected to the 8th house, mystery. So this person could have a mysterious aura. They could, oh my effing, I just can't, I can't, oh my god. Anuradha, which is also falling in Saturn, and, sorry, it's falling in Scorpio and it's ruled by Saturn, which it ticks 2 boxes. So we have Scorpio and then we have Saturn, which again speaks of that Hierophant tradition thing. Yeah, and then we have Purva Falguni, which is falling in Leo and it's ruled by Venus. And we have Ashlesha, which is falling in Cancer and is ruled by Mercury. So here we have the Moon-Mercury combination as well. Okay. Let's see. We have Punarvasu, which is ruled by Jupiter. Oh my gosh, falling in Gemini and Cancer. We have like the same energies over and over again. Oh my gosh, we have Revati. Revati, which is falling in Pisces, ruled by Mercury. Which Pisces is also ruled by Jupiter, by the way. We also have Uttara Ashadha, which is ruled by the Sun. Such a strong confirmation. I mentioned the Sun ruled nakshatras. Let's see. We have Mrigashira, which is ruled by Mars, falling in Taurus and Gemini. Also a strong confirmation, more fire energy. And we have Satabishak, which is falling in Aquarius and ruled by Rahu. Wow, very strong confirmations. Insane. Okay, Spirit clearly wanted you to get some very strong messages about this person. So with the Scorpio in the 8th house, yeah, this person could be intense. They could be secretive. They're probably not someone who wears their heart on their sleeve. And I feel for most of you, you probably have no idea that this person has the depth of feelings that they have for you. They might be thinking about you a lot more than you think about them, based on what I'm seeing here. I think overall with their energy, so the planets that came through pretty much confirm everything that I've said earlier. It just overly emphasizes it because it came out doubly so. So the Moon, Mercury, and Jupiter, right? The same energies. This person is youthful, and also their face is probably really good looking. Like their face stands out. Purva Falguni and Ashlesha says that this person is probably above average good looking. Ashlesha can give a really refined, intellectual, but also kind of a sexy look, right? They can have a sort of magnetic, hypnotic energy about them, or particularly their eyes can be very attractive. They can have an hypnotic quality. And Ashlesha also confirms that interest in psychology, right? Particularly, they could be drawn to hypnosis, hypnotherapy. They could also be into pharmaceuticals. They could be into the medical field, definitely, because Satabishak and Satabishak, however you want to call it, and Ashlesha, both of them are kind of connected to the medical field. Satabishak can also be an energy of the wounded healer, right? So this can be a person who comes across as pretty aloof sometimes. Like they can easily have connections with a lot of people, but they don't easily form very close connections. Like there's a handful of people that can really get to know them better or more intimately. Punarvasu, which is ruled by Jupiter, speaks of teaching, right? It's a very strong confirmation that this person could be teaching. It also speaks of succeeding at the second try. So that kind of falls hand in hand with what I saw here about this person reaching a breakthrough. Like maybe they're someone who has recently managed to finally achieve the things that they have tried for a very long time to get. Revati also speaks of travel. Like they might love to travel. They're really lucky traveling. They might also be involved with traveling as part of their profession. Either they travel a lot for work, or they could be directly involved in some kind of travel-related profession, like a tourist agency, a pilot, a flight attendant, anything to do with that. The hotel business, maybe to some extent. Okay. Uttara Ashadha can also speak of this person having a spiritual side. Yeah. And they probably have a strong jawline as well, especially if this is a man, but even as a woman, right? The sun-dominated nakshatras tend to show a pretty squarish shape of the face and a pretty prominent jawline. And Anuradha can show a kind of elongated face on the other hand. The jaw can also be pronounced, but the face overall tends to be more elongated, more like a long oval. Ashlesha can speak of a kind of a triangular face shape. I'm looking over face shapes over here, which is really interesting to me. Overall, I would say this person, for the most part, I'm seeing more of a shorter face shape for most of you. For some of you, they're more on the oblong sort of energy, more of a longer oval. Mrigashira can also show they love nature. Animals can be drawn to them. They could be really good with animals. You know, they like animals. They also have a very sharp investigative mind. They can be very rational. They like to get to the bottom of things. They can have very good analytical skills, which is a confirmation of all that sun energy and the Mars energy. And this person also can be very, how should I put it? I was going to say perfectionistic. In a way, perfectionistic, yeah. They can be very suspicious a lot of the times, right? So they can really question things. But there's also this overall vibe of aloofness. Aloofness. Like, this is a vibe that I'm getting with multiple of these nakshatras. Libra can also show that they can, you know, easily get along again with people, but not necessarily get close to people very easily. So they can be very polite, but they can keep people at arm's length. Purva Falguni and Ashlesha also show a certain degree of sensuality with this person, right? Like, they can be very sexy, really, like the kind of people that a lot of people would find attractive. Would not be surprising to me. And let me think, what else? I would not be surprised if this is someone who can also or has also stayed single for a long period of time. Maybe not necessarily like in recent history, but at some point in their lives, like, this is someone who is not stranger to being alone. This is the vibe that I'm getting here. At least single. I don't know about like totally alone or something. Okay, this is pretty much what I have from the notes. Let me just get the Astro dice as well. Spirit, tell me about pile number 1. Tell me about pile number 1. Who cannot stop thinking about them? Let's see. We have the number 5 again, which can be a confirmation of either the Mercury energy, like I said, because number 5 is ruled by Mercury in numerology, or it can be the 5th house, which connects to Leo and the Sun. Again, so the 5th house, again, can also talk more about teaching, but also creative self-expression. This person can also be a bit dramatic with all this Sun energy, right? They can appear larger than life, maybe a little bit loud, boisterous sometimes, even if they seem like stoic and mysterious and maybe don't allow people too close to them. They can also come across as pretty confident and loud at times. And then we have the Aquarius energy, which is a confirmation of the Satabishak and all the other energies that I came across, basically. And also the fact that this is here this person is a little bit aloof. Yeah, furthermore, a little bit aloof, but also humanitarian, very humanitarian minded. They could even be involved into charities, and they want to help people in general. They want to be of service. So they can have a kind of an archetype with the Satabishak. They can have an archetype of the wounded healer, like someone who has been hurt in various ways by life, and that makes them more empathic and more focused on helping others. And then we also have Venus, which is a strong confirmation again of all the number 6s that I've seen in the tarot cards. This person can also have like a strong sensuality, and also the Venus, I have to say also, like, despite all that masculine energy that came through the cards, there's also a bit of feminine with this person. And the Venus is also showing a strong tendency towards sensuality, a focus on comfort, love, arts, you know, hedonism. So this person definitely also likes the finer things. They could be also someone who's quite focused on material security and enjoying things financially. And they are above average good looking, like I think for most of you, because the Venus, you know, all these planets, like they show a lot of sensuality, a lot of beauty, you know, a lot of conventionally attractive features. I think this is the kind of person that most people would think is quite good looking. This is what I'm getting here. And also with the Venus, their face can stand out, their sensuality can stand out, but most importantly, their voice can really stand out. So yeah, I'm very curious. I'm very, very curious to see if you recognize this person. So please comment in the comment section, because very specific messages. And yeah, this has been pretty much it. I hope you have enjoyed it, pile number 1. And if you have, don't forget to like the video, subscribe to my channel. If you haven't done so already, it's the easiest way to support me, and it is free. Also, consider clicking on the notifications bell if you want to be notified when I upload a new tarot video. If you want to suggest topics for future videos that you would like me to cover on this channel, or if you want to, of course, comment with any feedback on this video, I would appreciate it. So please do so in the comment section. Aside from that, if you would like to support my channel further, of course, feel free to share this video with as many people as you would like to. And also, you know, so you can also leave a tip if you want to, or you can also become a member in exchange for a small monthly fee by clicking on the join button under any of my videos. And then, of course, if you're interested in a private tarot reading from me, you can check out the video description. I will leave my email address there. You can email me for a pricing list and, well, any other details you might be interested in. Aside from that, in the video description, I've also left a link to reviews that I have gotten for private readings before. You know, if you're curious, might help you decide if you want to get a reading from me. And last but not least, I also have an astrology channel, which I have started for a lot longer time than this one. And if you're curious about astrology, I focus mainly on Vedic astrology there, but also with some tropical insights. I have more than 20 years of experience reading horoscopes, more than 10 in Vedic, and that's my preferred system. But I also use my insights from all kinds of different systems of astrology, including a bunch of metaphysical topics that I cannot get too much into detail with, but I draw inspiration from not just Vedic and tropical astrology, but also Ziwei Doshu, Batsa, which are Chinese astrology systems, and then the Mayan zodiac and numerology and a bunch of other things as well. So yeah, if you're curious about astrology, go ahead and check out the link that I will leave in the video description to my astrology channel. Maybe subscribe. I would greatly appreciate it. So thank you very much for listening, and I hope to see you in my next tarot reading. Bye! Welcome, pile number 2. This is your reading if you have chosen this card over here, the 5 of Swords, and or this aventurine crystal. This is going to be the card selection phase. If you don't want to sit through it, I am going to add timestamps so you can skip directly to the interpretation. Wow, this is the first card that is under the deck. Maybe that's a sign. Anyway, Spirit, tell me about pile number 2, the people who chose the green aventurine crystal. Who cannot stop? What is this? Oh, sorry. This was from pile number 1. Spirit, tell me about pile number 2, the people who chose the green aventurine crystal. Who can't stop thinking about them? Okay. So we have 4 of Swords, Ace of Swords, 8 of Swords, 7 of Swords, 10 of Swords, and the Knight of Pentacles. This is intense. Spirit, tell me about pile number 2, the aventurine crystal. Who cannot stop thinking about pile number 2? Okay, there's a lot of swords in here. Wow. So we have, let me see. Trying to rearrange a little bit. So I have Knight of Wands, King of Wands, 10 of Pentacles, Page of Swords, Justice, and 8 of Swords. Massive amount of swords. Wow. This person, whoever they are, I think is very air dominant. So they have a lot of placements at Libra, Gemini, Aquarius right off the bat. I mean, 5 of Swords is the first card that came out. There's so many swords. Insane. Okay. Let me get some oracle cards. Spirit, tell me about pile number 2. Who is this person who can't stop thinking about pile number 2? Okay. 2 of them wanted to come out. Normally, I would only get 1. Tell me, Spirit, about pile number 2. Who is this person who can't stop thinking about pile number 2? Okay. 2 wanted to come out again. Okay, oh no, 3 wanted to come out. Okay, we have Red Fox strategy number 3. We have Hyena 38 fear. We have the Soul Butterfly 28. Number 8 is coming out a lot. The Soul, Fear, and Strategy. I don't know how to place them. I'm going to just leave them there. And then we have Celebration and Expression. All right, those are like similar vibes. Then let me get one more card from the deck that I don't really like to shuffle, but tell me, Spirit, about pile number 2. Who is this person who can't stop thinking about pile number 2? Tell me. Tell me, Spirit, who is this person who can't stop thinking about pile number 2? The Dead End. Number 40. Okay, this is intense. Slightly creepy. I'm kind of creeped out, I have to say. I'm gonna shut up. Okay. A lot of intense energies, all right? The Dead End. That card is kind of like, aside from the fact that it's creeping me up a little bit, I'm going to try to unpack what I see here, all right? So, we have 4 of Swords, Knight of Wands. I need a clarification right off the bat. Spirit, please clarify the 4 of Swords for me. What is driving this 4 of Swords? 6 of Swords, okay. Please, so many swords. Unbelievable. I don't think there's a single... Oh, and the 8 of Swords came out twice. I didn't even notice. There's so many swords here, I can't see straight. I swear. We have 6 of Swords. Okay, 6 of Swords. Please clarify the 6 of Swords for me, Spirit, because I want more details about this. What is driving this person's 4 of Swords? Okay, 7 of Pentacles. Okay. All right. And please clarify this 5 of Swords that came out in the first card. 8 of Wands. This is a person who... So right now, at this moment, when you are coming across this reading, this person, I have to say, is not in... Well, it's not like they're not in a good position, but they're in a bit of a struggle. All right? I'm seeing a lot of struggle here with all these swords and these, like, so we have 4 of Swords clarified by the 6 of Swords clarified by the 7 of Pentacles. So at this moment, right, when you come across this reading, this person is moving away. Whenever I get the 6 of Swords, I always think about that song, Walking Away by Craig David. I'm walking away from the troubles in my life. I'm walking away. Gonna find a better day. Something like that. So anyway, this person has gone through some rough stuff, like in recent history. And at the moment when you come across this reading, they are in a kind of a phase of... that seems like they're stagnating in life, maybe from a distance. But I'm not seeing this as a particularly negative thing. I think they're resting. You know, the 4 of Swords is a time of, like, you know, it's like, you know what, the vibe that I'm getting, the visual that I'm getting about this person is like, imagine those teams that are climbing Mount Everest, right? And they have, like, what do they call those? Like breaks? You know, they're the summits, or what are they called? I guess they're summits, right? But it's not like, you know, they're not reaching the top. It's not like they don't just stop at the top, right? They have like breaks along the way. This is what I'm seeing. This person is somewhere midway through a very long, arduous journey, and they're somewhere in a summit right now. So it's like they're not at the top, but they're taking a little bit of a break. This is what I'm getting here. Like, it looks like maybe they're slowing down in their lives, or they're stagnated even. But they need to rest. Their focus is on resting right now. However, this person has massive potential with this Knight of Wands and King of Wands. I'm seeing a lot of drive, a lot of self-motivation. The Ace of Swords, especially with the King of Wands underneath, speaks of this person's being very, very smart. They know what they're doing. They know where they're going. They're very clear. They're very sharp. And I'm seeing, so like I said from the beginning, I'm seeing a lot of, well, I said it in the shuffling phase. I don't know if I said it from the beginning. I'm seeing a lot of air energy with all these swords, like a massive amount of air energy, especially Libra. Look at this with 10 of Swords and the Justice coming through here underneath. So, lot of intellectual energy, a lot of mental energy, right? This person could also be someone who has this kind of agitated energy, like they're hard to pin down. I'm also getting some good amount of fire as well with the wands coming through. A decent amount of, well, a little bit, okay, of earth energy with the 10 of Pentacles, the Knight of Pentacles. I'm not getting any water whatsoever. So this person will probably not come across as particularly emotional, and or they can be out of touch with their emotions. Like they can be the kind of person that comes across as very kind of, you know, no nonsense, cerebral, unemotional sort of person. But they have a lot of fire, they have a lot of drive, and they're very intellectually motivated, like very smart. And the 8 of Swords with the 10 of Pentacles here. And then we have the 8 of Swords again here. I have to say, and some of you are not going to like maybe hearing this, but I need to say it. I mean, if the dead end was not a clue, really, Spirit has thrown little, you know, little pebbles over here for us to find our way through the darkness of the forest, like Hansel and Gretel. And let me tell you that what I see very strongly, I think, with this, for most of you, is that this person is someone who's in a relationship. And the reason I say this is because we have the 8 of Swords and we have the 10 of Pentacles underneath. And this is the opposition here. So this is what's getting in the way of this person potentially, you know, making their feelings known towards you, if they have feelings towards you, or if they like you, right? So, I mean, and I think they like you because this is someone who can't stop thinking about you. That's the question. And there's a lot of stress here. And not only is there, wait, let me unpack it because I'm getting ahead of myself, right? There's so many strong messages that support what I'm about to say that I just get overexcited. So I have the 8 of Swords here and the 10 of Pentacles clearly in opposition, right? What's getting in the way of this person pursuing you? And 8 of Swords speaks of confinement, like this person is restricted from pursuing you. And what is driving this restriction is the 10 of Pentacles, which speaks of a family situation, potentially a complicated family situation. But of course, it could just mean that this person is married, really, and has some responsibilities. Now, if they're not married, although I really think 90% or more of cases, that's going to be the case with all these signs here. And I'm going to move on to the next ones that I see as well. If this person is not married, what's keeping them from moving on or like moving towards you is the fact that they're having some kind of complicated family situation, some complicated family responsibilities, right? So maybe towards their family of origin. But I really think for most of you, this is a person who's in a relationship. And the reason I say this furthermore, right? Because look at this. We have 7 of Swords, Page of Swords in the past. So I'm going to clarify this 7 of Swords because I want to get more insights. Please clarify the 7 of Swords. Are you effing kidding me? Are you effing kidding me? The third 8 of Swords. This person, y'all, some of you, this person is in prison. Like, I'm not even kidding. With all these 8 of Swords, I mean, all these swords, they're just like, my eyes are hurting already. Please clarify the Page of Swords. I don't know. Do you know anyone in prison? I hope not. We have Page of Cups as well. Page of Swords, Page of Cups. Let me tell you something. This person is not giving me good vibes. And I hate to say this, you know, pile number 2. Don't give up just yet, all right? Because I have a lot more to unpack. So I'm sure that there are nuances. But the reason I'm saying not giving me good vibes is because this person in the past, I think, has fooled around. This person is someone who has a tendency, because look at this. 7 of Swords in the context of that I'm getting here, which is the 8 of Swords with the 10 of Pentacles underneath. This is a person who's not a stranger to cheating. This is the vibe that I'm getting. This is a person who's strategic about getting out of the confinements that they're under. And in the past, they may have had indiscretions. This is how I'm reading this. And the Page of Swords with the Page of Cups underneath basically just shows emotional immaturity. Like, this can be the kind of person who is a little bit of a Peter Pan style, who's like, oh, I'm in love, you know, and they don't care about how many lives have to be ruined in order for them to pursue some infatuation or some kind of a childish romantic thing. And the reason I see here, I'm going to unpack the heavyweight stuff further down the line. We have the Ten of Swords, we have the Justice. So Justice in particular, all right, furthermore solidifies the fact that this person is under a contract. Now again, like I said, this could be marriage, this could be prison, so it's up to you. I don't know. I don't know. Maybe depending on the situation, this could be someone who is in prison. I'm not kidding. Like, this would not be surprising with this spread over here. But the Ten of Swords and the Justice, y'all. I'm going to clarify. I need to clarify. Please clarify the Ten of Swords for me, Spirit, because this... Oh, wow. The Star. Please clarify the Star. The Moon. Ay. Wow, this person has it bad for you. I'm gonna say this. I honestly, I would be a little bit worried. I'm trying very hard not to be negative, but I feel like this whole reading, this whole spread is a bunch of red flags, really. I mean, hello, the dead end. I just can't. The dead end. And then we have Red Fox, which is like a red flag to me. Strategy. It says strategy on this card. And then we have the Seven of Swords here, which is about strategy. Then we have Fear by Hyena. Then we have the Ten of Swords, which is about fear. And then we have the Soul Butterfly. All right, we have a lot of butterflies in this. Look at this. We have the butterfly here with the number 28. We have expression and celebration, full of butterflies. So this can be really random, but maybe this person is actually into butterflies. I don't know. Maybe they're a butterfly collector. Maybe they, I don't know, like butterfly aesthetics. Maybe you met at a butterfly exhibition. But it also gives me the vibe of Buffalo Bill, who was like kind of creating moths in the basement. You know what I mean? Like, okay, I'm sorry. I'm trying to. I'm sorry. It's just, I swear, like from the beginning that I started to unwrap this reading, I said creepy vibes. I'm getting some weird vibes here from this reading. Like, whoever this person is, I'm just slightly freaked out. All right. Because this person, okay, they are restricted, and maybe it's for the best, for your best, definitely, pile number 2. But then we have, look at this, Ten of Swords with clarified by the Star, clarified by the Moon. This person, whoever they are, they're very unconscious, all right? The Moon speaks of the battle between the conscious and the subconscious mind, which is driving the Star, which is driving the Ten of Swords. This person is very infatuated with you. I wouldn't be surprised if they're borderline obsessed. And the Moon makes me think, this really gives me the vibe of a narcissist, because first of all, only a narcissist would pursue or think about pursuing a relationship outside of marriage, in my humble opinion. And the Star is like, they're fascinated with you. They're like, you know, they see you as like, oh my God, oh, you know, hallelujah chorus. Like, I'm getting the vibe of someone who is bored by their spouse. And it's like, they finally see you. They see you and you're like, they see you as an escape. That's the thing. Like, they see you as a way out of their contract, but they're held back. All right. If for some reason this is not someone who's married or in prison, this is someone that karma and fate and God and all the things holy in this life is keeping away from you. So count your blessings. Okay, bear with me because I want to get to more details. So far, these are the messages that I'm getting, but I'm going to get to more details about, you know, this person's potential professions or more specific vibes, all right? As I'm going to unpack this. But so far, this is what I'm getting. This is what I'm getting here. And last but not least, all right, we have the Knight of Pentacles. We have the Eight of Swords. And I want to clarify, hold on. Please clarify the Knight of Pentacles, Spirit. Five of Pentacles. Please clarify the 8. Wait. Please clarify the 8 of Swords. Oh my God. Oh my God. Oh my God. No, 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 no. No. This person's bad news. They're bad news, y'all. Oh God. Check this out. Check this out. 7 of Swords. Clarified by 8 of Swords, yeah? This is past behavioral patterns for this person. Future attempts of what they're going to try with respect to you. 8 of Swords clarified by 7 of Swords. So they're going to try to pull the same crap on you. They have had affairs before, and they're going to try to have an affair with you. They're going to try to weasel their way out of whatever their confinement is, which I think for most of them is a contract, like marriage. And they're going to try to be strategic, right? They want to be strategic about pursuing you because they see you as a gigantic prize. Look at this with the 5 of Pentacles and the Knight of Pentacles. And this person, let me tell you, they are suave. This is someone with all of this shit. I mean, like I said, I was joking when I said Buffalo Bill, but I said this person's giving me the creeps. Like, I'm not kidding. Like, this person is strategic. With all these swords, this person is calculated, cold-blooded. I'm not kidding. Like, stay the fuck away from them. Like, honestly, if you are a very close friend, and even if you're not, if you be considering that you're total strangers, I would still tell you, if you have any idea who this person is, stay the fuck away from them, because they are bad news. They're very bad news. All right. I'm seeing someone who's extremely selfish, very strategic, very cold-blooded, and they're going to be suave. On the surface, they might come across as very cool, calm, and self-assured, and they're going to be patient as well. They're patient in pursuing you, so be careful, is all I'm going to say. All right, let me get some, because I'm freaked out already, but I want to see more. I want to see who this person is, all right? Let me, Spirit, you know, I'm going to get the astrological notes. Spirit, please tell me about pile number 2. Who is this person who cannot stop thinking about them? Pisces, the dreamer. Yeah, that explains it. They are a dreamer. Sagittarius, world explorer. Yeah, I'm sure they explored a lot. 11th house, community and technology. All right. We have Virgo, the alchemist. And we have opposition, tension, and opposite. So this could be a person who's very different from you in temperament. Okay, with the opposition. And with Pisces, Sagittarius, yes. Also with the 5 of Swords and the 8 of Wands, this person could also be someone who is fast-moving. And they could be someone who moves around a lot, right? So they could be traveling as well. I'm not necessarily seeing a lot of things that would show this person is from a different culture or from a faraway land, but I'm not excluding it either. We have 11th house, community and technology. This person could be someone who's very good at networking. They could be someone that you know through your circle of acquaintances. They could also be someone that you have met in some kind of a social event, like, you know, meeting with friends, at a party, at a concert, through your elder siblings or through their elder siblings. Now, I'm not going to be totally negative about them, so I'm going to say they might also be someone who seems, at least on the surface, to care for other people's well-being, like someone who has some kind of humanitarian mindset, maybe. With Virgo, again, this is a person who's very analytical, very, very analytical. So, like, the Pisces / Page of Cups is like the only water energy, also the moon a little bit. The only water energy, which is why this person kind of scares me a little bit, because they're very, very unconscious. Like, they could be someone, if they're a narcissist, they're someone who's projecting a lot of fantasies, right? So this is the vibe that I'm getting. They're someone who's projecting. They could be really deluding themselves about what they see in this connection, for instance. Hopefully not. I really hope I'm wrong. Okay, this is pretty much what I'm seeing, but with the Jupiter energy, they are definitely someone who longs for freedom, all right? So there's someone who feels confined with the Eight of Swords coming out 3 times, and they feel confined. And I think, like I said, most likely it's because of a marriage or some kind of responsibility that they have. Because of that justice, it suggests a legal contract. So my best bet, like I said, is marriage, or they're literally in prison. Yeah, or if not, it's some kind of legal contract that's getting in the way of why they cannot pursue you the way that they would like to. All right, and aside from this, yeah, analytical, they could be perfectionistic, they could be a picky eater about things, right? They could be someone who has a lot of like weird OCD sort of behaviors, you know, they can get fixated on small things that they want to be done exactly so. With a Pisces, they might actually come across as quite dreamy in some ways, like maybe soft. Like I said, this person, I don't think they come across as particularly intense or dangerous, which makes them the more creepy to me. Like, even more creepy. Yeah, they might be very friendly, very, like, on the surface, I think they come across as actually quite lighthearted, like someone that you can hang out with, that are, you know, they're not intense, they can come across as really friendly, etc. Yeah, so personable, I guess. Okay, let me get some astrological notes. Spirit, tell me about pile number 2. Who is this person who cannot stop thinking about... Ah! One of them fell. Hold on. Okay, this one fell. So Spirit, tell me, who is this person who has feelings for pile number 2? Not feelings, sorry, who can't stop thinking about pile. You know what I mean, Spirit, because I've been asking the same question now. This one? I'm not feeling it. This one wanted to fall out. That's it. Let me see. So we have Virgo again. Okay, so then maybe this person has strong Virgo placements. They could look nerdy. Capricorn, more earth energy. All right. They can come across as pretty serious as well. Aries, all right. There's the selfishness. Potential recklessness, also aggression. All right. K2, this makes a lot of sense. Speaking of subconscious, this could also be someone that maybe you've had some kind of a past life connection with, or this could be someone that gives you like weirdly familiar vibes. We have Jupiter. Okay, this is a confirmation of what I said with Sagittarius and Pisces. They could have a prominent Jupiter. And we also have Leo. All right, so there's a good amount of fire here, which makes sense with the King of Wands and Knight of Wands coming out in the tarot cards. This person can have a lot of fire in their horoscope. We have Uttara Falguni, which is ruled by the Sun. It's falling in Leo and Virgo. And maybe this person has placements in Uttara Falguni. So there we have that fire energy. We have Anuradha falling in Scorpio, ruled by Saturn. And we have Pushya falling in Cancer, ruled by Saturn. Again, more Saturn energy. We have Kritika falling in Aries and Taurus. Oh my God. Oh Christ. Oh no. Sorry, I just had flashbacks. Those of you who come from my astrology channel, you know exactly why I had a reaction just now when I saw Kritika. I have a video actually, so you can look for it on my astrology channel, which I will be linking in the video description, by the way, that I call Kritika and infidelities in relationships. So go ahead and check that out. You will know exactly why I had this eye roll just earlier. So we also have Swati falling in Libra. This makes sense, right? Because Swati tends to be, I don't want to say slutty, but like Swati can be the types that really get carried away by their romantic interests, right? And they can be blind to passion. At least I've noticed that this can be a trend. So let me unpack this. All right. Kritika. This is the number one. This is the usual suspect when it comes to infidelity. All right. This person, if this is a man, let me tell you right now, if this is the kind of man that a lot of women are, you know, gaga for, you know, this is the kind of man that a lot of women find attractive. This is the kind of man that can easily get chicks, most likely. And this makes a lot of sense because honestly, Kritika showing up makes a lot of sense. They can be very immature emotionally. They can be like little children wanting new toys when it comes to infidelities. And they can, pursue something relentlessly. I've said this in the video that I think I also said this in the video that I did on my astrology channel about Kritika and infidelities, that to me, Scarlett O'Hara is the perfect Kritika archetype, especially when it comes to her relentless pursuit of Ashley Wilkes, who was promised to another woman, and she knew that, right? But she wouldn't stop pursuing him. So this is like, if you're a woman and you're watching this is like a male version of Scarlett O'Hara, and you're basically their Ashley Wilkes. Like, so be careful because they want to ruin your lives. And they also want to ruin everyone else's life in the process. So look, I'm not trying to say this is a horrible person. I know I said bad vibes, creepy vibes. I'm definitely picking up potential narcissism with this person. All right. But I'm not disputing the fact that this can be an attractive person. See, we have opposition here, which is interesting because Kritika and Anuradha are kind of opposite, you know, because we have Taurus and Scorpio. So this person could come across as someone who's like a collection of paradoxes on the one hand, like seemingly paradoxical, seemingly opposite characteristics. But I think for some of you, this could also be someone who seems very different than you. Like if you're introverted, they seem extroverted, right? If you're extroverted, they seem introverted. That kind of thing. Virgo is coming through very prominently. So it came out twice. I would not be surprised if this person actually has placements in Virgo. Especially Uttara Falguni, because we have this nakshatra that came out, Uttara Falguni, which also partially falls in Virgo in the first 10 degrees sidereal. Aside from that, Jupiter is also prominent, Pisces, Sagittarius, and Jupiter came out, right? So this person could have prominent placements in Pisces or Sagittarius, Jupiter, the 9th house, the 12th house, which correspond to Sagittarius and Pisces, respectively. They could also have placements in the nakshatras ruled by Jupiter, which are Punarvasu, Vishaka, and Purva Bhadrapada. With the 8 of Wands here, this person loves freedom. Like I said, they prioritize freedom, right? So this is a very freedom-longing person. This is someone who feels suffocating in their lives. So look for someone who most likely is already in a relationship. I wouldn't be surprised if they also have kids. And they feel suffocated and they're longing for an escape. They're longing for an adventure. They're most likely above average attractive, I have to say, especially if this is a man, because there's a slight difference between men and women. Even as a woman, I would say, quite attractive, right? Because we also have Pushya. I would say for women, Pushya is more attractive than any of the other. Well, Swati as well is also very attractive. So if this is a woman, this could be someone who has a lot of traditionally feminine characteristics, can have full lips, can have a full bosom, can have very kind of sensuous sort of vibe about her. If this is a man, I would say quite the contrary. This person can come across as pretty masculine, right? With the Kritika energy and also the Anuradha to some extent. They probably come across as very kind of cool, calm, collected. Like I said, they're very in control of themselves, seemingly. And they can also be quite ego-driven, of course, if all of these characteristics were not a clue. Because of that Leo, the Aries, the Capricorn. I think this person is also, despite what I said about the summit and the struggle, I think this person is doing okay for the most part financially. The King of Wands that came through, the Capricorn, the Leo, they speak of someone who's pretty established. So I wouldn't be surprised if they're quite established in their career and have a certain amount of social status. Maybe a certain amount of popularity as well with the Swati. All right. And Ketu worries me the most because in this context, it's like this person is so unconscious. They're so impulsive. I'm getting that vibe. They're impulsive. They're not thinking things through. They're not being rational about this whole thing. This is the vibe that I'm getting. All right. But on the plus side, if of course, if it's something that makes you feel warm and fuzzy inside, this person absolutely is fascinated with you. All right, they see you as like a goddess. If you're a woman, especially with that star card, are you kidding me? And this is on a more kind of sinister note, maybe. I keep going there, I'm sorry, but it's just this reading has a vibe. I can't deny it. There's kind of a creepy vibe. So the creepiness factor that I was going to say, the sinister vibe, is the fact that the star is clarified by the moon, which shows not just that this person could project unconscious things on you. You're like a muse, you're like a fantasy to them, but also that you could be triggering their mother issues, especially if you're a woman and this is a man. All right, could happen the other way around as well. All right. But especially if you're a woman and this is a man, because most of my audience I know are women, just stay away from them. I swear to God, like they're not right. There's something potentially unstable about them, like mentally. All right. So anyway, let me get the final notes here, which is the Astro Dice. Spirit, tell me about pile number 2. Who is this person who cannot stop thinking about them? What is their energy? Okay, we have Sagittarius again. So Sagittarius is also very, very prominent. All right, this person could also have placements in Sagittarius. We have the number 2, which can speak of the second house. Could also speak of the number 2 as in the number 2 numerology, which is ruled by the moon. So this person maybe also has some strong moon energy. And we have the Mars, all right? So that's a confirmation of the Scorpio, Aries vibe that came through. So we have Aries and Scorpio. Let me tell you, this person is pretty selfish, all right? Because Mars can be very bold, but they can also, this combination of Mars and Ketu can be deadly in terms of the person being reckless, not thinking about consequences. Again, think about Scarlett O'Hara, that kind of vibe. I'm getting pure Scarlett O'Hara here. Like they're likely to throw themselves headfirst into things without thinking things through. And the number 2 here can speak about the second house. So this person could be working in something like a restaurant. They could also be working in, they can also either be working in a family business, or they could be working in the same line of work as one or both of their parents, because the second house is the family of origin. They could also very much still be under the influence of the family of origin. Aside from that, the second house is also about diet, eating habits. So this person could be a dietitian maybe, or they could have very particular diets, just to give you some tips on how to recognize this person. Aside from that, what can really stand out about them the most can be the face and the voice. Like their face and their voice maybe is particularly attractive. Aside from that, because of this Mars energy, I have to say again, especially if this is a man, they probably are the kind of man that a lot of women go gaga for. I'm not kidding, because like there's a lot of masculine energy, especially the Critica. They probably have this kind of boss energy about them, you know. And they can also, with the predominance of vibes here, even though I said that they're probably the opposite from you, I think for the most part, this is not a person who is particularly shy. Because of all this like expansive, outwardly focused energy, I think this person can be quite loud and pretty comfortable in social situations, maybe even being the center of attention. Because of this Aries energy as well, I think they can be someone who has a pretty strong physical body, like someone who has a good amount of muscle mass and can be quite imposing. Also, most likely they have a strong jawline, a pretty squarish jawline. Aside from that, again, for the most of you, I think this person is above average in height because of the Jupiter in the Capricorn, so it's mostly someone who's pretty tall. All right, let me think what else. And with Sagittarius, with the moon, to some extent, a little bit of moon there, we have some Sagittarius, we have the 8 of Wands. So I think this person is someone who travels a lot, maybe for their profession, or has traveled a lot, right? Someone who has a bit of a globetrotter sort of vibe. They could be into cooking as well. They could really like cooking. They might be in a profession where they have to deal with fire as well. So like the, you know, firearms, maybe like the police, the military. They could be working for the government as well because of the sun energy. With Anuradha, they can be someone who is drawn to organized religion, maybe. With Swati, they can also be in some kind of field where they deal with a lot of people on the regular basis, and they're probably quite comfortable dealing with people a lot. They're also someone who's quite artistic as well. They might have above average like artistic abilities. They might be drawn to arts. And I'm getting a strong boss vibe, I have to say. Okay, this is pretty much what I can see, pile number 2. Sorry for the predominantly negative vibes, but I don't sugarcoat things. Those of you who have watched my channel for a long time, you probably know. So I just tell it like it is. Don't shoot the messenger. But I think that if there are negative messages to be said, they have to be said. I mean, that's the whole point of a tarot reading, right? You should be aware of things. If someone matches this description, my overall vibe, my overall advice is watch out, especially if you know that the person is married, because let's be honest, most cases in today's world, you can know when a person is married, right? It's not the kind of thing that's easy to hide. So anyway, yes, this is pretty much what I see for you, pile number 2. I hope that you have enjoyed this despite everything. I mean, there are very strong messages, repeated themes. Very curious to hear the feedback in the comment section. And also, if you have, don't forget to like the video, subscribe to the channel. If you haven't done so already, please also click on the notifications bell to see when I will upload a new tarot reading. Aside from that, of course, if you would like to support my channel further, you can do so by clicking on the join button under any of my videos and support me through a small monthly fee. You can also leave a tip through the tip option under any of my videos. And of course, another great way to support me would be to just share this video with as many people as you can. If you know people who are interested in tarot, it would help a lot. I would greatly appreciate it. And then, of course, if you're interested in a private tarot reading from me, you can check out the video description. I have left my email address there. You can email me for a pricing list, reading options, and other details. I've also left a link in the video description to reviews that I have gotten for private readings before. If you're curious to see them, might help you decide if you want to get a reading from me. And last but not least, I also have an astrology channel, which I have started in 2016, a lot further back than this channel. I don't even remember when I started this channel, honestly, anymore. I think it must have been like 2-3 years ago. Anyway, so I have, yes, an astrology channel by the name of Astro Martine, and you can also see it in the video description. There's a link to it. And I focus mainly on Vedic astrology there, but also with some tropical insights. I have more than 20 years of experience reading astrological horoscopes, more than 10 in Vedic astrology, which is my main preferred system now because I find it to be the most accurate. But I also use my insights from other systems such as Batsa, Ziwei Doshu, which are Chinese systems, also the Mayan zodiac, the Tzolk'in, also numerology and a bunch of other systems that are more obscure, also a bunch of sources of metaphysical knowledge that I cannot disclose. So yeah, if you like astrology, if you're curious about Vedic astrology, go ahead and check out my astrology channel, maybe subscribe. I would greatly appreciate it. So thank you very much for listening, and I hope to see you at my next tarot reading. Bye! Welcome, pile number 3. This is your reading if you have chosen this card, which is the moon and or this pink quartz crystal. This is going to be the card selection phase, so if you don't want to sit through it, I'm going to add timestamps. You can skip directly to the interpretation. Spirit, tell me about pile number 3, the people who chose the rose quartz. Who cannot stop thinking about pile number 3? How many is this? One more. Spirit, tell me, who cannot stop thinking about pile number 3? Who cannot stop thinking about pile number 3? All right, this one really wants to come out. No, it doesn't feel right. Or does it? Shit, I'm not really... Yeah, I'm gonna leave it here. So it's the Ace of Pentacles. It really feels like it wants to come out, but I haven't taken 7 cards for the previous 2 piles, so my intent is to get 6 cards each, but it wanted to come out, so I'm gonna leave it there. So we have Queen of Swords, we have 8 of Swords, we have Strength, we have Knight of Cups, we have Hermit, we have the 3 of Swords. Wow. All right, intense. And then we have Ace of Pentacles, which came out as a 7th card. Well, actually, these 2 actually came out together. So I'm going to take these 2 as a 6th card. All right, let me see. Spirit, tell me about pile number 3, the people who chose the rose quartz crystal. Who cannot stop thinking about pile number 3? This card? Yeah, this one. The Hermit came out twice. Holy shit. Okay. We have Knight of Pentacles. We have 3 of Cups. We have Queen of Pentacles. We have Judgment. We have the Lovers. And we have the Emperor. The Emperor and the Hermit. All right, let me get some oracle cards. Spirit, tell me about pile number 3. Who cannot stop thinking about pile number 3? Yeah, this one wants to come out. Spirit, tell me about pile number 3. Who cannot stop thinking about pile number 3? Spirit, tell me about pile number 3. Who cannot stop thinking about them? All right, let me unpack this. So we have the Father, number 2. Wow, already there's like a symmetry here. Number 2 is ruled by the Moon. And you have the Moon here as the first card. Let's see what else is coming through. We have Honeybee number 6, Reciprocity. Ooh, Reciprocity. I like the sound of that. We have 25, Observation, Peregrine Falcon with number 25, which, oh my god, is ruled by number 7, which I associate to the Hermit, which came out twice, by the way, in your spread. All right. And then we have Peace. Okay. Nice. Very biblical. Okay, I don't know how to arrange them in such a way that they're still visible. Yeah, they're not gonna sit here. Okay, can you just sit still for me? All right. Okay. So file number 3. We have the Moon. We have, I already said this when I picked the cards for the crystals, like the Moon card coming out for the pink quartz is so on point, because I always think of the pink quartz as a very healing energy, a very soothing, healing energy. So if there's any planet that would, match it in energy, it would definitely be the Moon, maybe Venus to some extent. So anyway, we have the Hermit coming out twice for you as a card. Normally I pick 6 cards, and for you we have 7 that wanted to come out together. So I'm going to take the last 2 with the last 2 underneath here as kind of like a 6th position. And I'm going to read that as a 6th position. So this person, all right, aside from the fact, and also we have that father card. So for some of you, this could be someone who is literally a father, or this could be someone who kind of reminds you of your father. I know, very Freudian, right off the bat. But then we have, right, the Queen of Swords, but with the Knight of Pentacles underneath. And I'm going to clarify already because I want some clarifications. Spirit, please clarify the Queen of Swords for me. Okay, we have the 5 of Wands. All right, clarify the Knight of Pentacles for me. Oh, wow, we have the 4 of Wands. Yeah, this person, I think, is someone who is quite successful. They are someone who most likely is either a parent or someone who very much wants to be a parent. For some of you, happiest scenario, I mean, but I'm guessing that's not most of you who are watching this reading. For some of you, though, this could be literally your spouse. That would make a lot of sense, especially if you have kids together. But if not, all right, this person is someone very family oriented with that moon, with the number, the 4 of Wands, right? This person is very family oriented. This is someone, like I said, either they have a family, either they already have kids. I'm going to see if they're already married or not as I go along. I can't say anything about their marital status, but what I can see is kids are something, so like family, kids, this is something that's on their consciousness, right? So at the moment when you come across this reading, this person is preoccupied with these things. We have the Queen of Swords clarified by the 5 of Wands, which number 1 tells me this person is someone who has a very no-nonsense attitude. Queen of Swords is kind of, you know, if you're familiar with Vedic astrology, this is someone who has Sata Bishak or Kritika energy, or that kind of an energy, right? The butcher caste. They're known as the butcher caste. They're people who are, you know, tell it like it is, and they're not afraid to burn bridges, because they literally can cut with their words. Not literally, but figuratively, they can cut with their words. That's why they're called the butcher caste. So they can be very blunt. They're someone who's not afraid of ruffling feathers, of, you know, getting into confrontations, getting into arguments. And in fact, if anything, I would actually say this person could be someone who has kind of a natural tendency to create conflicts or to get into arguments with people, especially people who don't see things the way that they see things. So they can be, for lack of a better way to put it, a little bit narrow-minded, maybe a little bit prejudiced in some ways. Because of that 5 of Wands clarifying it, it shows that they have a hard time getting along with people. So it depends on their level of consciousness, or if they're like more evolved, they're someone who has learned how to get along with people from all walks of life and people who are very different in mindset from their own mindset. However, if they're not evolved, they can be someone who, you know, is very narrow-minded, who picks fights with people because people don't see eye to eye with them. You know, they maybe come from different backgrounds. They could be a little bit xenophobic or even racist. Could be, I don't know, it depends. See how it resonates. I'm curious in the comment section. And then we also have here the Knight of Pentacles. See, that would go hand in hand. Speaking of xenophobia, that would go hand in hand with the Moon energy, because Moon energy can be people who are very proud of their origins, their family lineage, and their legacy. And they can be very focused on, you know, they can kind of have this tribal mentality of like my tribe against everyone else's tribe, right? So they can be very attached to their specific heritage, especially their mother side of the family and the mother side of the heritage. All right. Also, the Knight of Pentacles with the 4 of Wands underneath. This person is steadily working towards having a happy home life. They're putting consistent effort into either developing a happy home life or creating one for the first time, meaning getting married. Yeah, but they're very focused on peace within the family. They're focused on harmony within the family and having a stable, healthy home life. This is a big priority for them. And now we have the Eight of Swords with the Three of Cups underneath. I'm going to get some more clarifications on this. Please clarify the Eight of Swords, Spirit. Please clarify the Eight of Swords. Okay. Ace of Pentacles again. Wow, holy shit. Because it came out in the outcome as well. It came out here as well, right? Ace of Pentacles. I want to get one more clarification. Hold on. I'm going to get a clarification from this deck. Please clarify the Ace of Pentacles. Please clarify this Ace of Pentacles for me, Spirit. King of Wands. All right. I want to clarify the Three of Cups as well. Please clarify the Three of Cups as well. Two cards came out. Oh my God. Oh my God. This is not great. Yes. This actually kind of confirms my suspicions, but I was going to shut up. So we have Two of Cups, Seven of Swords coming out together. Clarifying the Three of Cups. This is a person. See, I'm going to unfold all the details that I can get about this person as I go along. So don't just like stop after I've said a few things and like, oh, this is not matching me and goodbye. Because I'm gonna be talking about them for a while. So one thing that I can say right off the bat, all right? Two of Cups, Seven of Swords, clarifying the Three of Cups, all right? This person is very motivated to meet you again. They're very motivated. They want a reunion with you. However, the Seven of Swords here, the Two of Cups, this shows that you are a new thing for them. All right. First of all, the Two of Cups here is, again, the moon energy, right? Number 2. Now, best case scenario, all right, I'm not 100% saying this person is married because I don't see this very strongly here. I have seen it for one of the other piles, all right? I'm not going to tell which one, but if you feel drawn to either of them, go ahead and check them out. I'm not getting like so far, I'm not getting very strong messages that this person could be married, right? However, so like best case scenario, right? I'm looking at the most positive explanation. This person wants to meet you again and they're being very strategic about it, right? So they're very motivated to meet you again, but they're trying to figure out the best way to do it, right? They maybe might try to orchestrate some kind of accidental running into you thing. Or, yeah, they're thinking about how they can orchestrate it some way. They can be strategic about it. All right. Worst case scenario, see, but the thing is, the thing that kind of worries me a little bit, see, and why I would not jump into believing that this is all innocent, is because I have the Eight of Swords here, clarified by the Ace of Pentacles, clarified by the King of Wands, all right? So the Eight of Swords speaks of some kind of situation of confinement. They are confined by something. Now, again, this may not necessarily be marriage. It could be a contract because Ace of Pentacles can speak of them. They're confined by, let's say, professional responsibilities. Maybe they have a contract at work that, I don't know, will require them to travel a lot so they cannot pursue a relationship. They could, I don't know, be really entangled in their business. They don't have time for a relationship. However, I think, considering the whole family thing here, they have responsibilities. Maybe, I think this person could be like separated with kids. I would think that's the most common vibe that I think, the most common scenario I think that is true for most of you who are reading for this pile, you know, who are getting this reading. I think it's someone who has kids because there's this feeling of responsibility. So the King of Wands, and then you have the father here, right? The King of Wands is a paternal figure, right? Even more so than the other kings, because the King of Wands is sun energy, right? And sun energy is the father archetype in astrology. And then the Ace of Pentacles is kind of like giving me this vibe that this person is chasing the coin, you know, is chasing the money because they have responsibilities. So they don't feel comfortable with maybe pursuing you just yet, right? However, they want to escape something. So they want to escape their current circumstances so that they are free to meet you again. This is their vibe here. All right? Irrespective of whether, I don't think they're married for most of you, but I'm not excluding it 100%. All right? And now the opposition here. We have Strength and we have the Queen of Pentacles. The X. I'm kidding. I'm kidding, but I'm not kidding. I mean, again, could be a thing. Let me clarify again. I want to clarify some stuff. Let me see. Yes, Spirit, please clarify the Strength card. Two of Wands. Wow, there's so many number 2s here. There are so many number 2s. Please clarify the Two of Wands. I kind of have an idea what it means, but oh yeah, the World. Yeah. That makes sense. Please clarify the Queen of Pentacles. 2 of them came out. Page and Page of Wands and the Four of Cups. Okay, clarifying the Queen of Pentacles. So what's in their opposition here is in the opposition in the sense of like what's getting in their way when it comes to pursuing you or like coming forward with any feelings or any offers towards you is the fact that they are again, I'm kind of leaning towards financial responsibilities is what I'm seeing very strongly. But what I'm also seeing is a little bit of indecisiveness here. Like they're probably the kind of person who's constantly hovering back and forth and like weighing the pros and cons. And they also, again, we have the number 4. There's a desire for stability here, but they're very, they are very interested in you. Romantically, this person is definitely giving me a strong vibe of infatuation already. All right, I haven't even gotten halfway through. So this is someone who's probably infatuated with you, right? They have a serious crush on you. And we have the World here, clarifying the Two of Wands, clarifying the Strength. This person is afraid to start again because they have recently gone through an ending. So for some of you, this could be someone who is recently separated from their romantic partner or recently ended a relationship. And for others of you, if that is not the case at all, this could just be someone who is at a faraway place. Like physically, there's a distance between the two of you. Or there's someone who's traveling a lot. That could also be a thing that's getting in the way of why they don't want to pursue this connection right now. But I think it's also, there's a lot of hesitation here. And there's a lot of, weighing the pros and cons, like I said, and there's a lot of analysis paralysis as well with this person, which does not surprise me at all because in the first position you had the Queen of Swords, which is a highly cerebral energy, right? And then we have the Knight of Cups and we have Judgment, which again is number 2. Number 2, 20, boils down to number 2. So much moon energy with this person. Like, I wouldn't be surprised if they have like moon in the Lagna or, very prominently placed moon. Moon in the 10th house, maybe. Moon is strong actually it's strong in the 4th house. Not that strong in the 10th house, but any planet in the 10th house has a strong influence on the horoscope of a person. This person could also have a lot of placements in the moon ruled nakshatras, Hasta, Rohini, Shravana, and or they could have placements in Cancer, of course. So anyway, with the Knight of Cups again, with the karma or the Judgment in opposition, sorry. This is like the recent past, all right? This person has gone through some kind of a karmic cycle. See, I can read this again in 2 different ways, or they could be both of them at the same time. So either they have felt like they were in a karmic cycle where they were just not able to pursue their heart's desires. And I feel like in this context, heart's desires mainly refers to like the romantic interest that they wanted. Or it could be another scenario or both of them at the same time. And the second scenario would be that they felt judged, which would make sense if they have gone through like a recent separation, maybe not even that recent, but if there's someone who is divorced and has kids, for instance, right? of course, people might judge them. Depending on their situation, considering the fact that this person so far looks like they're quite okay, established, probably has a support network. I think this person is afraid of how their community might judge them. Yeah, if they're pursuing certain romantic interests. And then we have the Hermit and the Lovers. Yes. And this is the 5th position. So this person, all right, this person, I think, is someone who is going to come forward towards you romantically. With the Lovers and the Hermit. And in fact, not only this, see, they might take a good while, I have to say, because the Hermit, again, and the rest of the cards that came through, they show some hesitation. And the Hermit, especially, I mean, gosh, the message is so clear, so coherent, so cohesive. And, Hermit with the Lovers underneath is this person sees you as a way to end their loneliness. And they see you, they hope that you could be someone that they can have a healthy relationship with. They can feel alive with, they can have the romance with. And I think with the Hermit especially, they see you as someone that they might feel, okay, you may not, but they might feel a strong soul connection with you. Like they feel like you are a part of their soul tribe, like someone that you have something in common with. And, you could connect on that soul level, like not just romantically, not just an infatuation, but, someone that you have things in common with, like I said, common interests. And I would not be surprised if you have K2 connections in synastry with this person. Although if you do have K2 connections, you probably have felt similarly about them. Like you felt some feeling of deja vu when you met them, or this kind of feeling of them being familiar somehow, like there was some instant like recognition of each other because it could show a past life connection. All right. And speaking of this actually goes hand in hand. If this is the case, this goes hand in hand with the Judgment here and the karma, because this could be someone that, the fates have kept away from you in some way. The karma can speak of like divine plan in action that's keeping you away from this person, has kept you away from this person, because this is like what happened in the past, up until this point, pretty much. All right, so Hermit and the Lovers, yeah? This person, I think, most likely is going to pursue you. And with the 3 of Swords, all right, hold on. I might get another clarification because I'm curious. Please clarify the Hermit, Spirit. Oh, holy shit. Holy shit, yeah, they're 100% going to pursue you. Like, I don't know, expect a phone call. File number 3. Yeah, I don't know how long this is gonna take. Like I said, they might be taking their sweet time, but yeah, it's on their it's part of their plan. They're like plotting it. They're plotting it already. They're gonna pursue you. So anyway, moving on to the resolution here. We have 3 of Swords clarified by the Emperor underneath. We have Ace of Pentacles clarified by the Hermit again. So 3 of Swords, which I understand might sound a little bit problematic. And in fact, again, I want to get a clarification. Let me clarify with a different deck. All right. Please clarify the 3 of Swords. Please clarify with the 3 of Swords, Spirit. Both of these want to come out, I guess. Star and 5 of Wands. Like here we have the 5 of Wands again. Okay. Yeah. I really think with the 5 of Wands coming through again, especially in the outcome, this person could actually be someone who comes from a different background than you culturally, or there's someone who's significantly different than you in some way. I think most likely this is like someone who comes from a different background. And then with the star coming through, though, this is a very strong crush. So I think this is showing, first of all, a massive potential. Okay, this is actually the potential to turn into something significant romantically, a significant connection. I really don't think that this is a non-romantic scenario for this pile, really. I mean, if you were, I don't know, hoping that I would give you insight into what your lawyer thinks about you or something, this is not the pile for you. Like, this is something definitely that's, you know, romantic, infatuation, something along those lines, flirtation. But this is the potential of turning into something deep, you know, something like a reawakening of emotions for both people involved. And the Ace of Pentacles really is a card that speaks of like a hidden gift, a hidden treasure, like something that can turn out to be something wonderful and mutually beneficial and also very stable. And here we end with the Emperor and with number 4 again, just like we started with the number 4. Right? Something stable, something solid. And the Hermit, especially in this context, speaks of that soul connection, like a deep, meaningful connection. Holy shit, man. This is like a meeting of soulmates. This is what I'm seeing here. This is like the best course of action with this person. So I'm going to try to see if I can get more information about them, who they might be, see if you can recognize them, all right? So, Spirit, tell me about pile number 3. Who cannot stop thinking about pile number 3? Gemini, Aquarius, very strong confirmation, the Queen of Swords, Capricorn, more Saturn, 3rd house, communication and interaction, Taurus, the sensual. All right, so let me break it down. So Gemini, Aquarius, all right, these are cerebral energy. So we have like a healthy balance of earth and air, right? Even though this person also has a strong moon energy, we've already established that. So this person can also have this very kind of, I was going to say like homebody sort of vibe, you know, but yeah, someone who cares a lot about comfort, about, like I said, having a comfortable home. They might be someone who really values family. They might be close to their family, you know, want to spend time with family. With Gemini and Aquarius, there's someone who's probably quite intellectual, probably good at communication. They might have this kind of youthful vibe. It's interesting because they're a mix of dichotomous energies with Gemini and Capricorn. So in some ways, they might be very serious, very mature. In other ways, they might be very playful, very youthful. They're someone who might be communicating a lot on a regular basis, maybe for their profession. They also could be dealing with a lot of people on a regular basis as part of their profession. And they are also most likely in a position of responsibility. See, Capricorn, the boss, right? And the Taurus, the sensual. Also with this earth energy, this is a stable, solid person. This is someone who is like no strings attached, no hidden catch, you know, just free love. Like the Depeche Mode song, or my favorite one, which is No Surprises by Radiohead. You know, no surprises with this person. Like, what you see is what you get. We have very strong Gemini energy, 3rd house Gemini, right? So again, this person, there's a lot of communication involved in their lives. With the 3rd house, there's a strong possibility that this person is self-employed. Maybe even an employer, like, or someone who is responsible for a lot of people because of that Capricorn, the boss, with the 3rd house communication and interaction. They could also be someone who, so they could be working in any kind of field where they communicate on a regular basis, right? They could be teachers, journalists, I don't know, broadcasters, podcasters, you know, influencers, gosh, all kinds of things. They could also be working in any kind of profession where they use their hands a lot, because the 3rd house is about the hands, the arms, the shoulders to some extent. So, for instance, they could be a musician playing an instrument. They could be someone who's into pottery, someone who works with their hands a lot. They could be into carpentry, for instance. If they're a woman, they could be into macrames and like sewing stuff or all kinds of things, right? They could also be writing a lot. So nowadays, using your hands can also be typing at a keyboard. So they could be like a programmer or something. It can also be someone who does a lot of their work online with the third house. And in fact, furthermore, this can be someone that you have met online. And it can also be someone that you have met in your environment, in your neighborhood, right? Through your neighborhood or through your neighbors, or could be in their neighborhood or through their neighbors. You could have also met them during a short trip or a short, a short trip, short distance or short-term trip. That's what I was going to say. Or while running errands. I don't know, like you were going to the supermarket, you met them that way. That could be a way that you have met them. And you could have also met this person through any activity involving through your siblings. That's another one, especially younger siblings, but could be any siblings, right? Like, so your siblings somehow were instrumental in how the two of you met. And this could also be someone you've met in, like, more specifically in some environment where handwork was important. That sounds very suspicious. But like working with your hands is important. Like, I don't know, you were taking a pottery class together, you met them, right? Or you went to a classical music concert and you met them, right? A lot of people playing musical instruments. Third house can be very connected to music as well. So this person, for some of you, that's very specific, but they could be a musician. So communication is part of their day-to-day profession, very likely, either way. And aside from that, they could also be in publishing, like I said, traveling, delivery, again, running errands. So anything that's kind of like short distance, short-term travel, right? That's pretty much it. They could also be someone who is on the move a lot. Yeah. They can, with the Taurus, all right, the Taurus and this configuration, like their voice probably really stands out. Their face probably really stands out. Physically, this is an interesting mix here because you have like air and earth. So I think they're quite healthy looking, quite sturdy looking. But they could also have some parts of their bodies that maybe look a little bit fragile, which I know sounds like a weird combination, but this is what I'm seeing. All right, this is pretty much, let me see what else I can get from astrological notes. Spirit, tell me about pile number 3, who cannot stop thinking about them. All right, seriously, all of those. Anyway, let me see, is that enough? All right, I've taken a lot of, okay, another one fell, another one bites the dust. So let me unpack all of this. This is a lot of notes over here. Okay, we have the sun. We have Mercury. This is a confirmation of that Gemini energy. So we have the sun. Does not surprise me to some extent. Oh my gosh. K2. This is a very strong confirmation of what I was talking about. Like, this would be someone that you have met in a past life. We have Capricorn again. So Capricorn can be very strong in this person's horoscope. We also have Aries, all right? That explains the boss energy to some extent as well. Let's see. We have Chitra, all right, falling in Virgo and Libra, ruled by Mars. We have Hasta, falling in Virgo, ruled by the Moon. There's a lot of Virgo going on already, and there's also a lot of Moon going on. Rohini, ruled by the Moon, all right, already 2 nakshatras ruled by the Moon. We have Mrigashira, ruled by Mars. Okay, there's quite some strong Mars energy as well with this person. We have Anuradha falling in Scorpio, ruled by Saturn. We have Purva Ashadha, ruled by Venus, falling in Sagittarius. We have Bharani falling in Aries, ruled by Venus. We have, let me open, Uttara Falguni, ruled by the Sun, falling in Leo and Virgo. And we have Jyeshta falling in Scorpio, ruled by Mercury. So if those of you who are thinking that, oh, I've taken a lot of these astrological notes, just bear in mind that there are 27 nakshatras. So yeah, this is not that much when you think about it in the grand scheme of things, and also especially not for a general reading. So anyway, let me unpack all the different personality traits and horoscope placements that this person could have. So we have a prominent sun, we have a prominent Mercury. One thing that I can say is I think this person with the sun and Mercury coming through, this person, again, I'm laughing because I have actually made a video on my astrology channel where I talked about the sun, Mercury, and instant karma in the horoscope. This person might even have a sun-Mercury conjunction in their horoscope. And this actually goes hand in hand with this judgment energy coming through to some extent, maybe as well. So it might seem for this person, I don't know how much this would help in you recognizing who this is, but for them, it might seem like a lot of their lives have been under karmic cycles, like stuff that was just meant to happen, maybe stuff that seemed completely out of their control, that threw things, you know, like threw them off balance, basically, a lot of challenges maybe. And this is because this person is meant to clear out a lot of karma in this lifetime, especially if they have the Sun-Mercury conjunction. Aside from that, you know, I think this person themselves is probably a very fair individual, like someone who wants to do the right thing. This is the vibe that I'm getting here. Aside from this, we have a lot of Scorpio energy. I mean, Ketu, we have Aries and Ketu, which is kind of like Mars and Ketu here coming out. And then we have Jyeshta, which is falling in Scorpio. And we have Anuradha, which is falling in Scorpio. The only one that's missing is Vishaka. Otherwise, we would have had all three nakshatras covering the sign of Scorpio. So we have the Mars and the Ketu, which are basically the co-rulers of Scorpio, right? So there's a lot of Mars energy with this person either way. We also have Mars ruled nakshatra. We have Mrigashira, we have Chitra. Okay, so lot of Mars energy. This person is a self-starter, self-motivated. All right, this person is someone you like. All right, did I mention this, by the way? Because I thought about this the first time when I saw reciprocity, but I don't think I ever carried that thought to completion, right? It's on that card. Like, I'm going to point with my finger like a child, but I don't care. Because I don't want to take it out of there because it's going to fall out and I don't want to put it back. So it's that card that says honeybee. Okay, I'm going to take it out. F it. Yeah, so it has this card. All right. So first of all, it's just killing me because we have the father here, and then we have this dude with the daisies in his hair and covered by bees with honeybee, and says reciprocity here on the card. So I think this is someone you like as well. And yeah, with the number 6 also, which is ruled by Venus, by the way, you know, that can explain the Taurus. Can also explain some Libra placements. But Venus, again, Venus and Cancer, both of them, like Moon and Venus, they're kind of homey energies. They're very comfort loving, you know, they're very family oriented. The number 6 especially, if it's a life path or a destiny number, it's very much focused on people who have to, well, people who have this, you know, number prominent in their numerology profile. They are focused on family in this lifetime. So maybe they even have a prominent number 6 in their numerology, right? Like the destiny number, the life path number, the soul urge number. That's an important one. It's the sum of the vowels in the name. But yeah, anyway. So I think this person, I've closed the argument. I think this person is very family oriented. But aside from this, all right, we have Anuradha, we have Jyeshta. I think, again, I recently actually, again, posted a video on my astrology channel about Jyeshta and sleep problems. And again, I'm recording this at like 1:30 in the morning. So anyway, Jyeshta can show sleep problems. This might help you recognize who this person is. Someone who has disturbed sleep, maybe doesn't get a lot of sleep. Someone who seems seems agitated a lot. Anuradha and Jyeshta, both of them together, can make a person a little bit workaholic, more than a little bit workaholic, right? So see how this resonates. Maybe this person you're thinking about is a little bit workaholic. They can be very focused on their career. And actually, Jyeshta goes hand in hand with that third house energy in the sense that this is likely to be a person who is self-employed. Yeah, third house is very much potentially I mean, more than any other houses, it's one of the business houses, but more than the other houses, it shows a person who takes matters into their own hands. They're very courageous, and someone who, yeah, most likely makes their own money. Maybe is even an employer. So aside from that, what I'm seeing here, Rohini, Chitra, Hasta. So this person is most likely above average good looking. And I think their face especially stands out. More specifically, their eyes. Their eyes can be very attractive, with Rohini especially. With Hasta as well. Also with Hasta, they could have a face shape that's kind of like an inverted triangle. I always say this with Hasta. So the face can be widest around the cheekbones and the eyes, and can have like a comparatively narrow jawline, right? So just to give you some examples, Leonardo DiCaprio has prominent Hasta. What's her name? Oh my god, I forgot her name. Oh my gosh. Gosh, I forgot her name because I'm old and I'm developing some form of, I hope not, heaven forbid. I'm not gonna say it. I just can't remember her name. Stewart something. I think it was Stewart. Kristen Stewart. I managed to remember it. Kirsten or Kristen Stewart. She's the girl who played Bella in Twilight, all right? That woman, all right, also has Moon in Hasta, and she has that typical Hasta face shape. It's actually a typically mercurial face shape, but I would say it's very strongly connected to Hasta specifically. So that could be the kind of face shape, right? Like an inverted triangle. They can also seem kind of dreamy, kind of aloof a little bit. With Rohini, this is a person who takes good care of themselves. Chitra the same. So Chitra is a kind of nakshatra that's very conscious of what they look like, very conscious of their appearance. They can definitely attract a lot of attention because of their appearance. And most likely it's not just because of their style or because of their the effort that they put in, although most likely this person is someone who's well groomed. Let me tell you this right now. Aside from that, though, with Chitra, this is a person who has features that stand out, right? They stand out, they can be really attractive. And aside from that, we also have Uttara Falguni, which is ruled by the sun. So this person can be, let me tell you this, very stubborn with Uttara Falguni. They can be very stubborn, not necessarily aggressive, but very stubborn. And they can also be very creative, very creatively inclined or developed in some ways. And aside from this, it can be superstitious. This could be a person who, like, for instance, wears certain talismans, or yeah, they might be like wearing amulets or talismans or something that has some kind of religious significance to them or spiritual significance. They can be quite superstitious. And they also are not exactly very open. So they're not the kind of person, based on these placements, that easily opens up. I see someone who's very self-contained for the most part. Purva Ashadha can also show a person who is very focused on tidiness, neatness, can be a bit of a cleanliness freak. Can also be someone who is drawn to the sea and maybe likes things like marine landscapes, or likes mermaids. This is totally random, but you might notice that this person likes mermaids. Like, I don't know, they wear something with mermaids on it or something. This person also can have nice hair. They can have wavy hair. Not for all of them, but I'm seeing potentially quite nice hair for most of them. With Bharani, they can also have this vibe about them that's kind of emotionally heavy. I always say this with Bharani. For instance, a typical trait with this nakshatra is having kind of downturned eyes, like the corners of the eyes are downturned. So they have this kind of a bit of a heavy, sullen sort of appearance, or kind of a melancholic appearance, all right? I don't want it to sound negative. Bharani is actually very sensuous, and a lot of very good-looking people have Bharani placements. It's also very artistic, and I have to say, based on this spread, this person is well above average artistic. You know, they could be very interested in arts. For some of you, they might even be a singer. Like I said, Hasta, actually, speaking of Hasta, this one is very connected to the hands again. So it goes hand in hand with that. It goes hand in hand. See what I did there? With that third house energy that came earlier. So they could actually be someone who plays an instrument, for instance. Or another thing with Hasta is they could like magic tricks. Yeah. They could be interested in magicians and magic tricks and stuff, and fantasy in general with Hasta. They can have a very rich imagination. Aside from that, with Mrigashira, this person can also have very good rational ability. They can have a very sharp mind, the capacity to, you know, investigate things, to get to the bottom of things. They may really enjoy things like detective stories and police work and stuff like that. They might also really like nature. Animals might feel comfortable around them. Animals might be drawn to them. They might even work with animals. You know, this would definitely be a good placement for someone who is a veterinary doctor. Aside from that, yeah, and another thing is like they might really like forests, especially. And yeah, this person, I think I mentioned this, but so sorry if I'm repeating myself, but this is someone who likes attention, someone who likes to get compliments, right? That's also why they put some effort in their appearance. And with Bharani Nakshatra, just to give you an example, some famous people, I always mention them, almost always. For instance, Greta Garbo was probably the most famous Bharani that I know anyway. Greta Garbo had Moon in Bharani, and the Moon is very important in showing facial features. So whenever you look at the Moon Nakshatra, it's good to determine the kind of facial features that a person generally is going to have. And she had that kind of like melancholic appearance, especially her eyes. You know, her eyelids were really heavy. And she did have eyes that were a little bit downturned, and she had that kind of like, you know, and speaking of Greta Garbo, she had a deep voice, and this is something that I noticed quite a lot with Bharani Nakshatra, that they tend to have deep voices, even the women. Not always, but it does happen. And in fact, another famous woman who has Bharani placements is Lana Del Rey. And even though you may not think of her as someone having a deep voice when she sings, she has that kind of like heaviness, that like a, you know, sultry, heavy way of speaking, of singing, you know. And she has Venus and Rahu conjunct in Bharani, which make this nakshatra very relevant for her aesthetic and for, you know, the way she sings as well, because Venus is connected to music and artistry in general. Vivian Lee is also an example who had ascendant in Bharani. She had very big, beautiful eyes. She also had a lot of other influences, so maybe it's not the best Bharani example. Another famous example, Halle Berry also has ascendant in Bharani. And among men, Antonio Banderas and Pedro Pascal are two men who have pretty prominent Bharani placements. Another famous man who had Bharani placements was Edgar Cayce. I don't know how many people know him, but also if you Google images of him, he had that kind of like also the big eyes, the heaviness and all that. And also Carl Jung also had some prominent Bharani. I don't remember exactly what placement, but he also had some Bharani going on. And also Jordan Peterson. I don't remember exactly which part of his horoscope, but he also has some Bharani, but I don't remember where exactly. Pretty sure that he has some though. So anyway, Bharani can have this kind of gravity about them. They tend to be serious. It's actually in Vedic astrology known as, ironically, the most feminine nakshatra in energy, but the way that feminine and masculine are viewed in Vedic astrology is a little bit different than mainstream definitions. And it's also a very headstrong, very intense sort of nakshatra. They're known for carrying grudges. That's a prominent thing with them. Like, they have very good memories. That's why they're associated to the elephant, by the way. I always mention this with Bharani. So like when you think about Bharani, think about those videos that surfaced. I remember this one video that I saw a long time ago in the 1990s with an elephant that escaped a circus. And the first thing that it did was it trampled and killed like all of its trainers. Not funny, but it's kind of funny because the elephant was clearly not happy about being kept in captivity and made to do tricks. And I think eventually, sadly, I think they put it down, but it killed like I don't know how many people, you know, running around the streets, and not just like it purposefully hunted down the people who abused him, apparently. So anyway, that's what I tell people all the time. Whenever you think of Barney, before you piss them off, think about, you know, those scenes of elephants who hunt down and kill their trainers, because this is the level of grudge that this is the level of a grudge that they can carry for someone. They will hold in a grudge for decades and then, you know, hit when people least expect. So yeah, there's a kind of emotional heaviness with them. They can definitely be jealous and intense, but when it comes to sensuality and depth of feelings, they can also be pretty intense as well. So yes. Also with the Barney and all of these placements, this person I think most likely is pretty well off as well. All right, so last but not least, I'm also going to get the Astro dice. Spirit, tell me about pile number 3. Who is this person who cannot stop thinking about them? Okay, so we have the Sun again, very prominent placement. So this goes hand in hand with that Emperor energy, which again goes hand in hand with the Father energy. Such a strong confirmation. I definitely think this person has kids, all right? Here's another thing. With the Sun coming out strongly, not only are they likely to have kids by them on their own, of their own, should I put it like that? They might also just like kids a lot, right? They might be someone who works with kids on a regular basis. And then the Sun is also self-expression. So they could like games, they could like creative self-expression and all that stuff. And then we have the number 11, and we have the Aquarius energy, which is strongly supporting that Queen of Swords energy as well. So this person could also have placements in Aquarius that are prominent, maybe a strong Rahu in their horoscope as well. The 11th house can also show that they might be, again, it's like, I mean, Aquarius came out twice again, very strong. This person is an individualistic person. They are someone who is not afraid to go against the trends, especially with the Hermit. So this is someone who's probably not someone who's afraid to be alone if they don't meet people that are according to their standards or people who are not compatible to them. And they probably hold some kind of high ideals socially, like they support high ideals. And ironically, the reason I pulled this card is because this guy kind of looks like a Barney, all right? This guy kind of looks like a Barney. He totally could pass for a Barney. I wonder if he has Barney placements. Who knows? Sorry, who knows if there is a horoscope attached to this person, or this is an AI creation. I don't know. Anyway, so the 11th house can also show that the first time you met this person maybe could have been through, again, older siblings as well. Your sibling or their sibling. So siblings may have been very instrumental in this group with introducing you to this person, or how you met this person. Somehow they made it happen. They were a link. Another thing is you could have met this person through your circle of friends and acquaintances. You could have met this person at some kind of a social event where there was a large crowd, like a concert, a theater play, all kinds of things, right? And 11th house can also show I was thinking about career right now, but never mind. I think I'm getting too much into details. Yeah. So anyway, I'm going to leave it at this. So Aquarius, look, to some extent, okay, it may have been that some of you have met through your career, but I think even if you met through your career or their career, it was also kind of a not the most formal setting, like maybe a social event involving your career, something organized by your company, a Christmas party or something like that, right? That would make sense. Okay, this is pretty much what I have for you, pile number 3. Like, wow, I think you are the longest lasting pile, like almost 1 hour of recording, but yeah. So thank you very much for surviving until the end. For lasting. Anyway, so thank you very much for listening, and of course I hope you have enjoyed this reading. Very strong confirmations, very strong repeated messages as usual. Thank you, Spirit. And if you have enjoyed it, don't forget to like the video, subscribe to my channel if you haven't done so already, click on the notifications bell to see when I will post a new video. Also, of course, feel free to comment in the comment section with any feedback you want to share about this reading or any ideas you have for videos that you would like me to do in the future. It would help a lot. I mean, this topic was recommended by a viewer not too long ago, so, and I thought, you know, I felt inspired to do it. So I do take those recommendations into account. And aside from that, if you would be interested in getting a private tarot reading from me, check out the video description in where I will leave my email address, so you can email me for a pricing list and reading options and other details about how to get a reading from me. Aside from that, I will also leave a link in the video description to reviews. I have gotten 4 private readings before. If you're curious to see them, might help you decide if you want to get a reading from me or not. And aside from that, of course, if you would like to support my channel further, you can do so by clicking on the join button under this video or any other and becoming a member in exchange for a small monthly fee. Or you can choose to leave a tip. Any amount would be very appreciated. And then, of course, you could also just share this video with as many people as you could, especially people that you know are interested in tarot. I would greatly appreciate that. Aside from that, last but not least, I do have an astrology channel, which I will be linking in the video description as well. I have started that channel in 2016, so a lot longer than a lot longer time ago. I don't know how to say it. A lot longer ago. Never mind. I'm going to stop. It's too late. So a long time ago, a much longer time ago than this channel. And I focus mainly on Vedic astrology there, but also with some tropical insight. So I have more than 20 years of experience reading horoscopes, more than 10 in reading Vedic astrology, which is my preferred system right now because it's the most accurate I have found. But I also use my insights that I have gathered from other astrological systems and other metaphysical sources of knowledge. Which include Bata, Diwei Doshu, which are Chinese astrology systems, the Mayan zodiac, the Tzolk'in, and numerology, and a bunch of other metaphysical sources, like I said. And yeah, so if you're curious about astrology, go ahead and check out the video description. Maybe subscribe to my astrology channel. I would greatly appreciate it. Thank you very much for listening, and I hope to see you at my next tarot reading. Bye! Welcome, pile number 4. This is your reading if you have chosen the 3 of Wands card and or this milky quartz crystal. So this is going to be the card selection phase. I'm going to add timestamps so that if you don't want to sit through it, you can skip directly to the interpretation. All right, so let's see. Spirit, tell me about... Spirit, tell me about pile number 4, the people who chose the milky quartz crystal. Who cannot stop thinking about them? Tell me. Page of Wands. Let's see. We have 4 of Cups, 8 of Wands, 7 of Wands, the Lovers, wow, the Star. All right, let's see some more cards. Spirit, tell me about, hold on, let me fix the camera, whoops. So you can see everything, hopefully. Spirit, tell me about pile number 4. Who is this person? Oh my gosh, the Star again. King of Swords, the Fool, the Sun. Wow, pile number 4. Holy shit. Sorry, pardon my French over here, but you have like, I guess they saved the best for last, like they say, you know. Because like you have the most positive spread that I've seen so far, but I'm going to see how it, you know, progresses because I'm going to get some stuff as I go along. But so far, it's looking really positive, right? This person, right off the bat, I can tell you this is someone who's in love with you. I don't know if you have any idea who they are, but they definitely like you a lot. I would say, okay, maybe not madly in love, not yet, but definitely someone who has a big crush on you. Anyway, So let me get some oracle cards. Pile number 4. Tell me about pile number 4, Spirit. Who is this person who cannot stop thinking about pile number 4? Spirit, who is this person who cannot stop thinking about pile number 4? Spirit, who is this person who cannot stop thinking about my pile number 4? Gosh. Oh God, this deck is killing me. But I stubbornly cling to it because it's really cool and original and everything. But I think this design of round cards is extremely impractical. Especially at 3 o'clock in the morning when you're trying to do a reading. Alright. Oh no, I thought that one of them was standing out, but it slipped back in, sorry. So, Spirit, tell me, who is this person thinking about pile number 4? 2 of them want to come out. This is original. The other piles did not get 2 of these. Oh, wow. We have the warrior and the comic. Pile number 4. Interesting. Okay. This one is number 10. And also, this reminds me of Capricorn energy. Number 10 can also refer to the 10th house. Of course, number 10 can also refer to Sun energy, which we already have here. And then we have this card with the number 26, which boils down to number 8. Which is Saturn energy. All right. And then we have gentleness. Ooh, I'm digging it. And then we have Peregrine Falcon, number 25, which is ruled by Ketu energy. So this can be Scorpio energy, but I'm going to see what else comes along in the spread to support this. Also, this card of the Peregrine Falcon did come out for one of the other piles. I don't remember which one, but if you feel drawn to any previous pile, make sure to check them out because there might be messages there for you. So, pile number 4, you have the star twice. In different circumstances, it's like the star in the beginning and the end, okay? The alpha and the omega. And we have the 3 of Wands here. All right, so I'm going to be pulling out some clarification cards because I'm curious about this. Please clarify this star over here, Spirit. Okay, that's too much, please. Just give me, hopefully, 1 card. Please clarify this star. Okay, we have the Wheel of Fortune. Please clarify the Wheel of Fortune. Oh, wow. Did you see this? It came out previously when I said there were too many cards and I put it back in. It came together with like 2 or 3 other cards and it was too much. And then it came out again. This showing that Spirit really wants this energy to come out. Please clarify the Knight of Cups. Seven of Cups. All right. 7 of Cups. Wheel of Fortune. I can tell you right off the bat, this person, right? This is someone who has a lot of fixed energy. I would say Aquarius is most likely, but it could be any of the other fixed signs. So it could be Scorpio, Taurus, Leo as well. All right, I'm going to put the clarifications here. I don't know if you can see them. I can see them. That's important. All right. So we have 7 of Cups, Knight of Cups, Wheel of Fortune. Clarify the Page of Wands for me, Spirit. Oh, wow. We have the Magician. Okay. Also, where did this card come up from? Oh my God. The 7 of Cups also came out twice. I didn't even realize it. This card fell out. This card fell out when I was asking for clarifications, but I'm going to stick. Okay, this one really wants to come out for this one, I think. Yeah, this is what feels right, but I don't remember what order it should be in, so I'm just going to put it back in. All right. Please clarify the 4 of Cups for me as well, Spirit. Two of Wands. Yeah, makes sense. Please clarify the Ace of Swords. Okay, two of them. All right, we have Four of Wands, Ace of Pentacles. Holy Mother of Christ. I mean, pile number 4, this person, I mean, I think this card over here pretty much sums it up. This one and the Lovers over here, this person wants to marry you. Like, I'm flat out saying this right now. Like, this person is completely head over heels in love with you. I don't know who this person is. I'm gonna try to figure that out as I go along, but all right, let me start to unpack what I'm seeing here. So we have the Page of Wands clarified by the Magician, and then we have the Star card underneath clarified by Wheel of Fortune, Knight of Cups, Seven of Cups. So this person is someone who is like a rising, I was gonna say a rising star. Literally, they could be like a, well, not literally, but figuratively, they could be a rising star in the sense that I think this is someone who is on a winning streak in life. They're not super accomplished yet, so they haven't reached their like maximum potential, but then I guess none of us have. But this person is like on a growth path, right? They're like I said, on a winning streak, so they have things going for them. With the Page of Wands, I have to say there's mostly a youthful energy here so far. There's a youthful energy, although it is clarified by the Magician, which is very fascinating to me because there's like a blend between youthfulness and a great deal of determination and responsibility. This is a person who has a kind of youthful enthusiasm, but they also have a plan, a vision. This is someone who has very strong manifestation powers, right? Someone who is like visualizing a path for themselves and they're heading down that path. This is someone who plans, who strategizes. Nothing is left to chance with this person. So, and this is them at the current time when you are coming across this reading. This is someone who also potentially has a significant amount of visibility and appreciation. With the Star card, there is a possibility that they are someone who is in the limelight to some extent, like maybe social media, maybe they are low-key famous, maybe they are large-key famous, I don't know. Maybe they are famous to some extent, I don't know, within their community to some extent, maybe online. But I think this is someone who has a certain degree of visibility, like I said. There is a lot of Saturn energy, so this person is very career-driven, very hardworking. The Star actually has the number 8 on it, so that is an energy of career orientation, an energy of ambition. It's very much connected to Saturn and or Scorpio energy. Also, speaking of Saturn and or Scorpio, we have a lot of number 10s coming through as well. Here, look at this, number 10. We have number 8 here with the comic because number 26 on it boils down to a number 8, and here number 10. You can also look at it as number 10, but then it also boils down to a number 1 in numerology, which is ruled by the sun, which also happened to come out here. So this person is someone who is going through a stream of change right now. Because of that Wheel of Fortune, like at this moment when you're coming across this reading, they seem like they're going through a phase of a lot of changes, like rapid changes, but I would say mostly it's for the better, like it's positive change. I'm seeing a lot of opportunities coming into their lives. They're having the chance of pursuing their heart's desire, and there's someone who's pretty enthusiastic, you know, pretty purposeful, pretty enthusiastic. Overall, I would say quite happy. Aside from this, right, what motivates, so their second position, we have Four of Cups clarified by the Two of Wands. And then we have the Ace of Swords clarified by, look at this, the Ace of Pentacles and the Four of Wands. These two cards together, clarifying the Ace of Swords. This shows this person is extremely driven by their attraction to you. So they see you as marriage potential. They see you as someone who they would like to build a future with because of this Four of Wands. They see you as a treasure, as like a hidden gift that they did not expect to come across. There's a huge amount of attraction here, really. However, there's also a lot of analysis paralysis with this person. Because of that Four of Cups and the Two of Wands, this speaks of a person who has a lot of hesitation, is like pondering a lot of pros and cons. You know, I'm not seeing this person. Well, no, wait a minute. I'm holding that thought. I can only see that later down in the reading. But yeah, I can just see that this person is kind of like torn a little bit inside about this, how they feel about you and this potential connection, right? In the sense that I think they're pondering, right? They're afraid to make a move. That's the main thing that I'm seeing because of this Two of Wands. They're like in a space of hesitation, where they haven't worked up the courage yet, but it's not excluded that they will work up the courage, all right? We have the Eight of Wands and the Seven of Cups in opposition. So it's interesting that the Seven of Cups also came out here as a clarification for the Knight of Cups and for the Star, ultimately. The Knight of Cups, the Wheel of Fortune, and the Star. So the Seven of Cups can speak of this person being a little bit overwhelmed by, on the one hand, a lot of opportunities coming their way, and also the other hand, wanting to progress very fast in life. So this person is on a very strong winning streak. Like, they are going through a phase where things are just going their way, you know, things are happening very quickly. And they want to make sure that they make the most of every opportunity that is handed out to them. This Eight of Wands with the Seven of Cups underneath, this shows that things are aligning for them now in such a way that they might get a lot of what they want in life. And they, like I said, they just want to grab every opportunity. On the other hand, on a more potentially negative side, what this could show is this person maybe has multiple dating options, right? So they're kind of like confused maybe, or they have a hard time choosing just one person. I don't know. That's another way to look at it, especially considering the fact that the vibe that I'm getting here based on these cards can be pretty youthful in energy, right? So, not the most mature so far. However, this doesn't mean, I'm not seeing any malicious intent on the part of this person, but, you know, see how this resonates. If you have any idea who this person is, or maybe you're thinking of a specific person, you know, and this resonates, this could be someone who's young of age, right? Or even if they're not physically young, they're not someone who is like the most emotionally mature maybe all the time. Anyway, then we have the Seven of Wands with the King of Swords underneath, which shows the past, right? So this shows me that this person in their past, so up until the present moment when you come across this reading, there's someone who has gone through quite some stuff. So things have not been easy for them. I see a lot of challenges. I see a lot of defensiveness. I see a lot of things that required a lot of effort, a lot of sacrifice. And I think for long periods of time, they put in a lot of effort. It seemed like they were struggling and they were just not getting any results. And I think that's probably why they were so focused on just grabbing everything that comes their way during this time, right? And yeah, the King of Swords also speaks of a person who is used to falling back on reason, someone who's very rational. So here we do have a little bit of more mature energy, even though it's not emotional maturity. It is a kind of maturity, though, that speaks of a very strategic mindset, like someone who has a kind of no-nonsense approach to life, someone who sees things clearly, someone who cannot easily be bamboozled, that people cannot fool because they have kind of like street smarts in a way, you know, or in another way to put it is, they learn through the school of hard knocks, you know, like they learn through trial and error how to get things or how to get by and how to survive maybe, or how to get what they wanted. And yeah, so after this rough patch, they're finally kind of, you know, seeing the sunshine. And now this is the very important part. See, I have a feeling like this reading is going to be significantly shorter than the others, simply because it's pretty clean cut. Like the messages are very, you know, very in one direction, right? They're pretty much, yeah, this person has the hots for you. They see you as like, you know, the embodiment of their fantasies. This is what I'm seeing here. I'm not kidding. So the Lovers and the Fool is clearly showing this person will make a move towards you, all right? It's not a question of if, it is a question of when. So I would not be able to tell you when, but at some point this person will make a move towards you because they're very infatuated, and there's a kind of decisiveness with the Fool as well. There's a kind of like wanting to throw themselves head first into it. Eventually they will reach a point, I guess, of attraction where they will feel overwhelmed by their feelings and they will just throw themselves headfirst into this. They definitely see you as someone that they want to have a relationship with, a romantic relationship with. And the Star and the Sun in the outcome is extremely positive, all right? So this shows a very happy outcome. This shows a very bright future for this connection with this person. So this is what I'm getting here. Like, I'm not getting like more specific messages so far, except that, you know, with the Warrior and the comic energy, I have some ideas, all right? Except for the fact that this person could have prominent Scorpio energy. I think they might have Purva Bhadrapada and or Ardra, especially Ardra, I would say, energy. So I'm going to see what comes through with the astrological notes. But so far, what I'm seeing is basically this person likes you. There are no significant obstacles in your path, really. In the path of the two of you getting together, I mean. And I think, yeah, this person is going to pursue you, like I said. So, and that this is gonna be a happy connection when this happens. So aside from that, let me get the astrological cards. Let's see what else is coming through. Spirit, tell me about pile number 4, the people who chose the Milky Quartz. Who is this person who cannot stop thinking about them? Fifth house, joy and play. So there's like that pure-heartedness, youthfulness. We have conjunction, fusion, and energy. We have Cancer, the caring. We have Libra, the beautiful-minded. We have ninth house, learning and faith. Speaking of ninth house, we also have that 8 of Wands. Aside from, I did say that I think what's getting in the way of this person pursuing you right now, maybe, is the fact that they have a lot of opportunities and they want to make the most of things. Another more specific message is, and it could overlap with the opportunities one, is that they're traveling a lot. And I actually see this with the 3 of Wands that came out first here as the first card. The 3 of Wands can speak of traveling, right? Or it can speak of a certain distance between the two of you. Like this person is far away from you maybe right now. Could be, not for all of you, right? But there could be a distance. Or this person, like I said, can just be traveling a lot and they cannot really settle down for a while. And we have 5th house, we have conjunction, Cancer, Libra, 9th house. The reason I mentioned the travel was because I just remember this when I was looking at the 9th house, right? 5th house and 9th houses, both of them are connected to education. They're both connected to teaching, academia, studies. So this could be a person that you met through university, through, especially, so 5th house and 9th house are like college level and above, right? Any kind of specialized courses, college, university, bachelor's, master's, PhD, etc., right? That could have been how you met this person. You could have also met this person through traveling, either any form of travel, whether they were traveling to your country, you were traveling to their country, or you met somewhere in between. Especially leisure type of traveling, so as opposed to traveling for work. Another thing with this person is they have a strong sense of faith. So this is confirmed through all the energies that are very positive and very kind of pure-hearted in this spread. So this person is youthful, they have a lot of enthusiasm, they have an optimism. So this is shown here through the 5th house energy, through the 9th house energy. And the fact that, you know, this person probably is also driven by a strong sense of faith in a higher power, and also themselves and their own vision with that Magician, right? So I feel like they see themselves as an extension of a higher plan. There's something like majestic about the way that they view themselves and the way they view life. And then Cancer and Libra can also show that this person could have Cancer or Libra placements, of course. So they could be someone, just like this card suggests, with gentleness, right? They could be someone who is really gentle. They could be someone who's very refined as well, and just someone who's a very kind soul. You know, this is what I'm getting here. Conjunction, I think, speaks of the level of attraction they have towards you. And I think that you are compatible. This is the vibe that I'm getting here, because not just that I'm getting it as a vibe, I'm getting it as a message as well with the star and the sun. I mean, holy shit, you know, that's very positive. That's like spirit telling you, giving you the green light about this connection. If this person like asks you out or something, it's definitely something worth pursuing that is going to bring a lot of happiness to both of you. So, and then the fifth house, all right, this person can also be someone who's very creative. They could be someone who's working with children. They could also be like a professor or teacher themselves, right? Because of the teaching connection. They could also be someone who actually works in travel or travel related businesses. So they could be working for a travel agency. They could be a tour guide, something like that. Anything to do with travel. I don't know, flight attendant, something like that. They could also be working in dramatic arts. They could be an actor, especially acting, you know, with the fifth house. The fifth house is very strong in dramatic arts. And ninth house, they could also be into higher philosophy, and they could have kind of a broad view of the world. They can be very open-minded, and someone who just likes to think big, to have like to see the big picture, you know. Okay, this is pretty much what I have through the cards. Let me get some astro notes. Spirit, tell me about pile number 4. Who is this person? I can't stop thinking about pile number 4. Tell me, Spirit, who is this person? Who is this person who cannot stop thinking about my pile number 4? I don't know about this. Yeah, it does feel right. All right. Yeah, this one as well. So let's see. Okay, we have K2, the south node. We have the sun. Holy crap, like such a strong confirmation. Well, the sun came out again. And then we have Aries, all right. Not surprised at all, because hello, the warrior, right? Whenever you see the warrior, that's Aries energy. I should have said that from the beginning, but I mean, I got to a point where I'm so used to astrological archetypes that I just feel like everyone knows them, so I feel like I shouldn't be saying stuff. Punarvasu, Gemini, Cancer, ruled by Jupiter, all right. Ashlesha, falling in Cancer, ruled by Mercury. Chitra, falling in Virgo and Libra, ruled by Mars. I can't. I just can't. I mean, I cannot. Literally, I'm pretty sure I did another reading where this card came out, the comic, and I said the same thing. I said something about Ardra, and then Ardra came out. So yeah, very, very strong confirmation of what I said. Ardra. All right. Anyway, Purva Falguni, falling in Leo. There's already a lot of Leo, so performance artists can be a thing. We have Shravana, falling in Capricorn, ruled by the moon. We have Rohini, falling in Taurus, ruled by the moon. And we have Dhanishta. Wow. Like some of the people in this pile... So Dhanishta, falling in Capricorn, Aquarius, ruled by Mars. Some of the people in this pile truly are artists, because these are like nakshatras that are very strongly into the arts, especially performance artists. Like Dhanishta, Rohini. To some extent nowadays, even Ardra is connected. I think I've said this in another video, and I've definitely said it on my astrology channel, that Ardra, I read this a long time ago, is said to make the best actors because they are the ones who are best at showing strong emotions. And you actually see this with a lot of actors who have prominent Ardra placements in their horoscope, that they can, like, you know, show very strong emotions, whether it's rage or sadness, or like also they can cry very easily, because Ardra is often connected to the tear, like it's actually symbolized by the tear. And unfortunately, it's one of those nakshatras that's very intense. It's actually ruled by It's connected to the gods of destruction in Vedic astrology. So it's connected to a lot of traumas, as far as I have seen, especially when people have it in their natal horoscope or in their D9 divisional chart, the Navamsha. But anyway, about Ardra, right? They can also make, especially nowadays, all of the Rahu ruled nakshatras, including Ardra, can be prominent in the horoscopes of people who make it in show business in any way, right? Or they're popular through the media, like influencers, YouTubers, etc., right? And this is because Rahu rules technology, and this is whatever. This is a whole like separate debate that I could talk about for hours. But yeah, I think in this nakshatra, I would not be surprised if these are people who are actually in the entertainment business, or they're actors, or they're performers or something. Especially acting, I see this as a possibility. But then also dancing, or it could be a combination of things, dancing, acting, especially with Dhanishta, it can be dancing. And with Chitra as well, they could be into fashion a lot, right? So Chitra can be very visual. And one thing that I can say 100% with this person is they are above average good looking. Especially, they can have a very nice body, right? Not just a nice body, right? Pretty face as well, but the body especially can stand out. They can have a very kind of strong looking body, especially with Chitra Nakshatra and Dhanishta as well. They might actually like to exercise. They might like combat sports. Dhanishta can be connected to the military. They might like military music and drums, or a lot of music that uses drums. Maybe they like to play the drums. That would be very specific. So but with Dhanishta, it's like they tend to like those kinds of like marching band songs, or like songs that are very connected to the military. Music that is kind of military inspired, or like that you could play going into battle. They could also be in professions. Speaking of the military, they can actually be connected to the military, right? They could be in professions connected to that. Aside from that, with Dhanishta, and actually this really confirms what I said initially with the star card, that this person has a certain level of fame. And this is kind of confirmed really with Dhanishta showing up, also with Ardra to some extent. Ardra is not specifically connected to fame, but nowadays, because of the Rahu influence, like I said, many famous people have Ardra, Swati, and Satabisha very prominently placed in their horoscopes. And aside from that, another one is Chitra, which can also show that this person is comfortable in the limelight, and they might be very good looking, and they can attract a lot of attention. So aside from that, Ashlesha can also mean that they're very attractive. Ashlesha, so a lot of these nakshatras, can I just say? So Ashlesha, Chitra, Purva Falguni, Dhanishta, Rohini, these like 5 nakshatras out of the 8 that you got are basically known to be above average good looking. So out of the 4 piles, can I just say, I think this person that you like is the best looking. This person that's thinking about you is someone who's very attractive. And they are someone who is well groomed, right? They like to take care of themselves. They're probably someone who goes to the gym, who puts some effort into what they look like and choosing their clothes. And they probably have some interest in fashion, even if this is a man, yes. With Purva Falguni, they can have some very sensuous features. Also with Ashlesha and Dhanishta, they can be very prone to dancing. Like, they can have an interest in dancing. They can be very graceful in their movements. And Ashlesha especially can be very hypnotic. They can be very sensuous. A lot of very attractive people, especially people, even sex symbols, I would say, have prominent Ashlesha placements. Like Megan Fox, for instance, like Marilyn Monroe. Marilyn Monroe had a pretty strong Ashlesha influence in her horoscope. And I can't think of a lot of people right off the top of my head, but I know I've seen this time and time again. Loads of very attractive people, both men and women, have prominent Ashlesha placements. And this is the kind of nakshatra where even if the people are not particularly good looking in the conventional sense. They have this kind of, I don't know, attractiveness, this kind of hypnotic vibe about them that makes people attracted to them. Kylie Minogue, that's another example I can think about, who has some strong Ashlesha energy. Lana Del Rey also has strong Ashlesha. She has, I'm pretty sure she has Moon in Ashlesha in her natal chart, if I'm not mistaken. If it's not the moon, it's the sun, but I'm pretty sure it's the moon. So aside from that, Purva Falguni, again, I've said this in many videos, and I will keep saying it because I don't have a problem with it. Purva Falguni can be a very sensuous energy. It's actually in Vedic astrology connected to the archetype of the courtesan, and it's very sensuous. It's a very like a lot of people who have prominent Purva Falguni, men or women, they tend to be very good looking. Just to give you some examples, Madonna has very prominent Purva Falguni. She has Moon and Ascendant conjunct in Purva Falguni. Rosalia, the Spanish singer, also has Moon in Purva Falguni. Especially with women, it tends to produce this very traditionally pretty sort of sensuous appearance. Like they have like full lips and a nice rounded face, and you know, they also can be very good at performing, you know, especially singing. Purva Falguni is very prominent with singers. And aside from that, they also have nicely shaped bodies, and they tend to take good care of themselves as well. Famous man that I can think about is, I think his name is Michael Fassbender, right? Yeah, he has Moon in Purva Falguni. I can't think of other men. I should probably like do more research and do a database. I know someone suggested at some point that I should do like notes with famous people for tarot readings based on their nakshatras. I don't know. I might look into that at some point. I don't know how that would work exactly, but I'm gonna try to see if I can do something about that. That might be fun. So anyway, aside from this, let's see, Danishta, again, Marilyn Monroe, a lot of very, very attractive women, especially women who are known for their sensuality and their bodies, tend to be Danishtas. So Marilyn Monroe had Moon in Danishta. Sophia Loren has I think Sophia Loren is still alive, right? I don't remember. Is she? Anyway, I'm gonna say has Moon in Danishta. Nowadays, Gigi Hadid has Moon in Danishta. She's also a model and she's very good looking. But yeah, a lot of women who are just especially very known for their bodies, like I said, tend to be Danishta. And men also, and can be very attractive. I cannot think of like very many men who are Danishta, who have Danishta placements. Well, one of them is, I can tell you right now, and you're gonna laugh, is Volodymyr Zelensky. I'm pretty sure he has Moon in Danishta, but the reason I said you're gonna laugh is because, well, maybe not so laughable actually, because he was he was an actor before he got into politics, and I remember seeing some video of him dancing in high heels, which was hilarious. So, aside from him, though, for instance, David Duchovny, I know, who played Agent Mulder, is Moon in Danishta. Aside from him, though, I don't know. I can't think of other famous men. Anyway, it doesn't really matter, because whatever. I can just tell you that they're above average good looking. Oh, another famous guy with Danishta placements, Moon in Danishta, is James McAvoy, which a lot of women go gaga for. So Danishta, men with Moon in Danishta, as well as Moon in any other Mars ruled nakshatra, they tend to be seen as pretty masculine. All right. Even when they are into performance and stuff, they tend to have that kind of masculine vibe about them. And speaking of masculine and maybe not so kind of masculine, another famous guy with Danishta Moon is Harry Styles. I remember I checked his horoscope, so I don't 100% remember if it's Moon in Danishta, but he definitely has some Danishta placements. Okay, Rohini is known for being beautiful, for having a beautiful face, and especially having very good looking eyes. Usually whenever you see people with moon in Rohini or any placement in Rohini, they tend to have eyes that really stand out. Aishwarya Rai, for instance, is a famous Rohini moon who has become famous because of how beautiful her eyes were. I've also done this on my astrology channel. I talked about the horoscope of Vivian Lee, who was also very known for how beautiful her eyes were. She also had Saturn in Rohini in her second house, which prominently affected her facial features and gave her that very sculpted face, really, the sculpted cheekbones. And even though she was kind of thin and frail looking, you know, had a very sculpted face, very sculpted, with typical Saturnian, a healthy Saturnian face, should I put it like that. And especially the eyes were really standing out, right, which is typical for Rohini. Also, Rohini is prominently seen again in artists, in actors, singers of all kinds. And it's a nakshatra where the person likes to be admired. They like to get compliments. So they tend to put some effort into what they look like, right? Also with Shravana, this person really likes imagination, maybe make-believe. There's a heavy moon energy as well going on here. So overall, I would definitely see these whole nakshatras like in the horoscope of Sona, someone who's into performance, who's into make-believe, arts, creativity, anything creative, really. But they could also be very into animals and nature with Ardra, so they could be outdoorsy. They could like adventures outdoors. They might even work with animals. Another thing is with Shravana, they can be very good listeners, so they could be into psychotherapy. They could be therapists. They could be physical therapists, psychotherapists. They could also be teachers and counselors, especially with Punarvasu. They could even be into some kind of a religious thing, like involved in organized religion. And with Ashlesha, they could be into hypnotherapy, for instance, or chemistry or medical sciences. But with Ashlesha, I've seen this a lot with like pharmaceuticals, with, you know, in the old days, it would have been like making potions and stuff, but not nowadays. Hopefully they're not putting leeches on someone's forehead. But they could be into pharmaceuticals, they could be into hypnotherapy, psychotherapy, even sexologists. Yeah. Ashlesha is very much into like the Kundalini energy, and it's connected to these deities in Vedic astrology called the Nagas, which were like basically deified serpents. Anyway, and which is also gives them their very graceful kind of move, right? So Ashleshas can be very graceful. And also with Chitra, their appearance is, I mean, Chitra is like a lot of very good looking people have Chitra placements. Like Scarlett Johansson has moon in Chitra. Cannot think of men except maybe Joe Rogan. I know Joe Rogan has moon in Chitra. I wouldn't necessarily think of Joe Rogan as an extremely handsome man, but his physique is definitely imposing. And this is something you see a lot with Chitra men, actually. Both men and women, they tend to have very healthy, pretty sturdy, healthy, strong bodies, right? Especially since they tend to take care of themselves and go to the gym and stuff like that. Shravana, a lot of feminine, very feminine women have Shravana placements. It's a ruled, you know, moon ruled nakshatra, very feminine, introverted, mysterious. And men with Shravana tend to be like the good guys, you know. Viggo Mortensen has moon in Shravana, and he played like the ultimate Prince Charming, I think, Aragorn in Lord of the Rings. Anyway, yeah, these are pretty much like what the vibes that I'm getting here. So either way, this person has prominent warrior archetype, because the warrior came out the comic, and Ardra. See, that's another thing I wanted to say. Ardra is known to have good humor, and it goes hand in hand with their traumatic childhoods a lot of the times, but I won't get into that whole philosophy, right? But they tend to be known for their humor, and many comedians also have prominent Ardra placements. All right, let me find, last but not least, let me also get the Astro Dice. Spirit, tell me about pile number 4. Who is this person who cannot stop thinking about pile number 4? Okay, so we have number 1, which is ruled by the Sun. Can also be the first house, which is ruled by Aries. So I see that as a confirmation. Gemini, which can be Ardra, really, right? Because Ardra falls in Gemini. And we have the Moon. The Moon is strong as well, which does not surprise me with all these, you know, nakshatras falling in the Moon, right? Not all of these. We have Shravana. We also have Rohini, actually. So I have 2 out of 3 moon ruled nakshatras here. So this person with the moon, this can also show they have a nice face. Their face can stand out. And the moon also confirms what I said about the 8 of Wands, that this person could be traveling a lot. They can also tend to be moody a little bit. And they also have a kind of soft, nurturing, dreamy vibe about them with the moon energy. They can be very creative, very sensitive. And this is someone who forms deep attachments, right? They care about having strong emotional connections with people. And Gemini is falling into the comic energy. I think this person is someone who might be funny, maybe someone who makes jokes and stuff, someone who has a good sense of humor. They could also be someone who likes to socialize a lot. They can be a social butterfly. They can feel really comfortable in social situations. And they could also have a very youthful energy, which also came out through the cards repeatedly. Like I said, maybe they're young, they look younger than their age, or or they're just very youthful in their energy. Maybe they act younger than their age, you know. And the first house also says that the body stands out with this person. So first of all, they in their entirety stand out in a crowd. They probably feel comfortable being, you know, center stage. And there's someone who's very assertive, right? Whether they have some shyness going on or not, this is a person who probably doesn't have many complexes. Like, they feel comfortable in their bodies. They take care of their bodies. They might be very physical as well. And also the first house can even show for some of them that they might be like into fitness, maybe working into fit, maybe like a personal trainer or an athlete or something that uses the physical body a lot. Physical therapist, that can also be a thing. The first house can also show that this person is someone who introduced themselves to you for the first time, or you introduced yourself to them directly at the first time you met. Can also be that you met this person close to your place of birth, right? Yeah, this is pretty much what I have for you. And also, last but not least, I don't know if I got into Ketu. Ketu is the co-ruler of Scorpio, and I think it shows potentially a past life connection between the two of you. So see how this resonates. If you have a person on your mind and other things have resonated in here, the Ketu thing would show that this is someone you have met in a past life, and you could have both felt this like instant comfort connection with them. And on top of that, this is also a spiritually evolved person with Ketu. They're very intuitive. They might even be into like secretive spirit stuff, like even, I don't know, conjurings, Wicca stuff, all kinds of dubious stuff. What Christians would call dubious. Anyway, so yeah, this is pretty much what I have for you, pile number 4. Very strong messages. As usual, Spirit never sleeps. Thank you, Spirit, for the messages, and I hope you have enjoyed it. If you have, again, don't forget to like the video, subscribe to my channel, click on the notifications bell to see when I will post a new video. If you want to get a private reading from me, check out the video description. I will leave my email address there. You can email me for a pricing list, reading options, any other details. I've also left a link in the video description to reviews I have gotten for private readings before. If you want to check them out, might help you decide if you want to get a reading from me. Aside from that, if you would like to support my channel further through becoming a member in exchange for a small monthly fee or leaving a tip, any amount would be greatly appreciated. Also, just sharing this video with as many people as you know and that you know might be interested in tarot, I would greatly appreciate all of that. And of course, feel free to comment in the comment section with how this reading resonated or any ideas for future topics that you would like me to cover on this channel. Today's topic was also recommended by a viewer not too long ago, so I do take them into account. Yeah. So aside from that, I last but not least have an astrology channel and I will be linking that in the video description as well. I have had that channel since 2016, and I have been into astrology for more than 20 years now, more than 10 into Vedic astrology, which is the primary type of astrology that I focus on my astrology channel. But aside from that, I also use my insights from various astrological systems like Batsa, Ziwei Doshu, which are Chinese astrology systems, the Mayan zodiac, the Tzolk'in and numerology and a bunch of other metaphysical sources of knowledge that I cannot divulge because they're a hush-hush. So anyway, I mainly focus on Vedic astrology though, so if you're very curious about Vedic astrology, go ahead and check out my astrology channel from the video description. Maybe subscribe to it. I would greatly appreciate it. Thank you very much for listening, and I hope to see you at my next tarot video.